map where the players definitely enjoy. We can see Cape Town totally
Mm-hmm.
conquered by DL to UK, and let's see how everything is going to happen next. According to the players, they are definitely more interested in jumping in out as early as possible. And Salty, why wouldn't you talk about the flight path?
Yes, it is. The flight path is pretty interesting. Cape Town to Observatory. I mean, a pretty horizontal flight path, but we can see most of the teams spreading apart. The prodigious pilgrimage of Free Fire Esports. They open its arm to new devotees. Welcome to the cathedral, ladies and gentlemen. These players drop down the plane like gladiators for a fight, and they are ready. Bring in the horns, bring in the trumpet as the battle begins. This is Free Fire City Open, the first match of the Delhi Finals. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? Most of the teams have taken the drop locations, but none of them are actually pretty close yet. I can see team number 8 and 6, which is apparently team SRG and team HB. They are pretty close, and the battle can begin any moment. Again, team number 12, that is team HES, and that is team IES, of course, and team number 7, that is team Top Esports. They are team OP, of course. They're pretty close as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They are pretty close as well. Fighting shots are already getting exchanged. Grenade attack was one of the chances, but unfortunately, it is a land and fight situation where you don't have much of the resources to work out with. Resources are being exchanged, utilities are not being able to share, and we are seeing some chrono. Surgical is Tylord is definitely holding one of the chrono ability, which you rarely get to see now. Few months back, it was all about chrono, where people just used to use the chrono ability, rush in, confirm few knocks, and then in no time use the blue wall, heal themselves up with any at all damage taken. Talking about the current team TOP, it is Niku going ahead with double barrel in his hand and with the shotgun. How many knocks is he going to confirm? Because it is Bhima Sakti, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the places where we usually see a lot of population, but at this point of time, we only see two teams. It is team OP, and they are better known as Top to themselves. Alongside, we are also seeing Illusion ES.
Mm-hmm. Yes, in team OP. Yet I of shots, honestly. One player knocked down, and Nico will confirm the kill for one player goes down. Illusion, yes. What can they make out of this? At this point, team OP are in complete control. Most of the players from team Illusion, they are in the lower ridge. One player is close, of course, but I don't think he's going to take early contact. Illusion still suffering. Glue wall goes down. Nico would want to take the fight for himself, but no. Chrono Shield comes out. The Pokeball, that is the grenade, of course, in Virtual Ball. It goes out. Illusion gets down. Rahul gets a frag for himself. Will confirm the kill. Now He-Man is over there.
He-Man is over there, and he's very with little to no HP. Takes a fall back. He's going to heal up as early as possible with the cover, with the hard cover that he's easily able to acquire. And still, it is Rahul who doesn't want man to go away, to run away.
Away, he goes away with it.
As early as possible, and the car is
away.
going blast in a nick of time. And yes, indeed, it does. So Illusion ES gets eliminated by Team OP with total of 4 kills, and the best of part is without losing a single player. That makes the battle even more interesting when you win something without losing anything at all. And it was a perfect play coming up from Team OP for the first round and the first battle.
It came crashing down for team Illusion ES. Only they took one by one. They took the fights one by one, and they fell victim to an entire team. Team OP, they were together. They took the fight as they isolated those fights in 2v1s and 3v1s, and they won each and every one of those. But now we have a look at Hangar, where again team number 6, that is team SRG, they have been completely surrounded by team number 8, which again I'll have to look at. But at the moment, I guess if team number 8 plan to converge, they are in some deep trouble. Team Heartbreakers, they can completely wrap around, they can completely envelope team SRG, and they would have nowhere to go. This Hangar region has 2 wide openings. But Nightmare, oh my god, wait. Was he lagged out? Was he not aware that there is a team out there?
We really don't know what he was thinking about, but certainly he was totally overpowered by 2 players rushing him and confirming the kill. So Surgical Strike has confirmed the first frag bomb for themselves, and they are definitely trying to hunt down more players, and Heartbreakers are quite too far away. He was stranded away from his teammates, and same for the other teammates as well. I see one more solo player coming in from Heartbreakers, because that is an entirely different strategy which I would personally not prefer to go either. I would go for 50-50, but they went for 1 and the remaining 50 together, which is 25% for 2 and 50 for 1. But over here, talking about the other two teams, NMY Delhi is also sharing the grounds with godlike highest resource zone and satisfactory sides, trying to spot any enemies available. And I'm afraid, Aryan, there's nobody there, which we certainly know he doesn't. And third party of influence, we might also see the team that we've already talked about, LVL Iconic, which also has a different set of experience already.
LVL Iconic is in the vicinity, but at this point, I don't think they will be converging for a fight. Interestingly enough, Team NY Delhi, they are proceeding forward. They know that there are enemies in their surroundings, but they're not actually very concerned about that. They want to continue with the rotations, and the southern part of the circle is actually pretty dense. And if you look at a team godlike, Team IC, that is Team LVL Iconic, Team NMY Delhi, Team OP, of course, they're there. So all these teams, when they start converging, when they start with their rotations all together, that is when a lot of fights can break out, and that is something which I'm really scared of. Well, most of the circle is pretty empty. Team TRV, most of those players are pretty empty as well. That is Team Revolution. But here we can see Team NMY Delhi. They are probably suffering some shots. Sid is taking some shots for himself, but it is going to be team number 7. That is Team OP. So after finishing off one team, they already have their crosshairs on another. This team is looking for frags, Tanya.
Yeah, absolutely. This team is looking for frags, and let's see how many more kills can they go for. But they are also into the risky position where all 4 players are stacked up into one sniper tower if they are spotted. And if there's any enemy who would want to get 4 kills, it is all easy. All you got to have is to get some few sets of grenades. But before that, Team Revolution here, all squad looks so safe and sound, not sharing rounds with anyone. The battle was elsewhere, and we are going to get to head. See, over there, there's going to be 𝐃𝐞𝐥𝐡, who is totally eliminated by Iconic 𝐂𝐢𝐿, the team that we were talking about. So factory site is getting heated up, and it is up. Let's confirm 1 more kill, and the grenades connecting flawlessly.
The grenades connecting flawlessly. Team LVL Iconic, their backs have been broken. Draking and the other player, they're just running away from this fight. Godlike, beautiful stuff there. They didn't lose the first player in the form of Tista, but then the grenades came flying down and completely broke Team LVL Iconic apart. That is something when you scare away an experienced team like LVL Iconic. Godlike, I give it to you. You guys do have it. But Team LVL Iconic, they move away from Team Godlike. They're going to face someone else. Team number 10 and Team Godlike, I guess Team LVL Iconic, they're going to fight against each other. And I'm not sure what's going to happen. What is going to be the outcome of that fight? I wish we could get to see that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. We are going to get to see as UAV is just about the head. The enemies are exposed, and Team Revolution wanted the exact information about which side to flank in, from where they can confirm as many kills as possible. They are also going for the hardcore and one of the biggest compounds. Vehicle spotted here, and 𝐼𝐸𝐺 is trying to blast the vehicle. Is he going to be successful though? One more vehicle also seen into the vicinity. He is able to deliver some damage, but the damage was not sufficient enough to confirm the knock. And here with the Mag 7, a strong push comes in, not sufficient enough. Chrono deployed right on time, and maybe this is going to be Renu's end. And indeed, yes, Renu is getting a bad end. 𝐼𝐸𝐺 is also spotted, taken down, freed as the last player standing. And Godlike's getting flawlessly eliminated. And I'm seeing Last Breath is also able to pick some good kills, and the experience is playing its entirely different set of role. Talking about the current team, which is Delhi to UK. Firing shots coming in from Niru, not sufficient enough. 𝐾𝐞 is knocked down into the counter fire and also confirmed. So with 2 kills, they're left down as a trio, and they have to battle against Last Breath.
Teams converge one on top of the other. Last Breath now find Team D2U a bit weakened at this point. The grenades come in, the Molotovs come in as well. Team Last Breath, they're unflustered. They want to rush into this building. Look at the grenades coming in. Oh my god, 𝐵𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻. What can he pull off though? This is going to be 𝐵𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻 too. He has the shotgun with him, so he can be a big form of resistance from Team D2U, but at this point, Last Breath, they're taking the sweet time in the world, would want a frag for themselves before they want to rush in, because there is a single staircase, right? So it can be a bit hard, especially if you have those crossfires ready. 𝐵𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻1 still ready with his Mag 7. All these trying to position themselves. The clue walls have been deployed, but the grenades might come at any moment, Tanya. I guess that is what Team Last Breath is waiting for. They want to get an opening for themselves. As long as, I mean, if they get a knock, I guess the rush will be coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. If the player gets knocked up, this is what you want to do. You want to confirm your point. You want to secure your kill point. Let's see who is going to get knocked up first, because the upper ground is totally conquered, totally contested by the team Delhi to UK. But a so strong push coming in from last breath. 𝐅𝐢𝐫𝐞 is already
Wow.
blue wall, not able to confirm. Knock fighting shots will still continue to change. And over here, Inhaler is also being ultimately, we do see 𝐂𝐢𝐭𝐲 knocking down Delhi to UK's Pahadi over here with total of 2 kills already. The players are rushing out. They have left the upper ground, which they were conquering since quite too long, since they brought in the vehicles, but now they're trying to rush out. Car blasts is also a part of this scenario. What uncertainty of this fight that is. 𝐂𝐲𝐿 with the sniper is able to confirm one knock for himself, and 𝐂𝐢𝐭𝐲 once again with the shotgun, he's able to confirm the second kill as well. So last breath survives as a squad with total of 5 kills, and they are also within the circle, so there is nothing that is going to push them any further. They can hold here and also loot the death crates available that they have created a small minute symmetry for themselves.
I love the fact that Team Last Breath actually isolated those frags so brilliantly. They breached one floor. Sure, that's fine. They got inside a single room and they glue walled it from the outside so that no reinforcements could come in. And that was brilliant. But as soon as they got those frags, they were just so confident to wipe out the remaining 4v2. That was absolutely insane. My boys from Team D2U were also trying to move out using a car, but that was not happening. Shots coming in from Team HES, that is 𝐄𝐢𝐿 Esports, Team Heartbreakers. They're perched up in that single shack. It's not going to be very easy for them to hold that position, but also the danger zone on top can make life a bit difficult for Team 𝐄𝐢𝐿 Esports. They need to get some shelter as quickly as possible, and they will get that. I mean, this is just 11 minutes into the game, Tanya, and we have bid a goodbye to so many teams and so many players. 9 teams and 31 players are just alive. Look at the beautiful drone shot over there. Team Revolution, Team OP, LVL Iconic, NMY, all these teams are pretty close, Tanya.
Yeah, absolutely. These teams are very, very close to each other. And let's see what are the plans coming up, because certainly these teams are trying to pick more of kill points, rather rotation or the standing points. Each point is going to matter, and ultimately balance is going to matter. There's no point if you survive until the end without picking any kills and you get eliminated on position 2. You also need to acquire some points through kills. So let's see which is that team exactly going to be. Talking about Team Revolution, near to be Masakti Strip. We have seen this team when the two teams are already battling. They just went away. They don't want an early battle. They don't want to. They entirely are ready with a new set of frame in their mind that we want to survive at least until top 5, top 6. So you acquire at least good standing points. And look, the circle is covering completely clock tower. So it's a definite advantage to NMY Delhi. And let's see from where they are going to get attacked, because always I say being in the dead center also brings the attraction to the bullets from all different 4 corners. And they already have 2 teams, 𝐄𝐢𝐿 Esports on their left, and over here the battle is between other 2 teams. We are able to see 𝐅𝐢𝐫𝐞𝐞 is able to take 2 knocks with 1 single grenade as a duo itself. They're fearlessly battling, and he's also able to pick 1 more knock with only 7 HP remaining. 𝐬𝐻 is trying to confirm any knocks that he took out. Is he going to be successful enough? No, he gets taken down.
That was so unfortunate. Look at the cocoon of blue wall that has been created, Ankit. He will find himself isolated. Team Last Breath, the recovery was brilliant, but the way they got those 2 kills, Last Breath, they were certainly hurt. 𝐼𝐸𝐺 is still in a position where he's knocked out. They will want to get the final kill though. Double vectors, but no, Ankit will be shut down. Team number 9, that is Team Heartbreakers. They will have to leave the server at this point. But look at the density of teams right there, Tanya. Team number 5, that is Team GenX Force. They are battling against Team SRG right now.
Yeah, they are battling. Jarvis will get a revive, or he is going to bleed to death. No, team support is already there. He's going to get revived. So the squad again stands and strong as 4 teammates reunite to play. And let's see which team are they going to battle. No, they don't want to battle anyone. They are trying to run away within the circle. But over there's one more team who's going to wait for them, which is going to be Team Revolution. So the face-off is unavoidable for Team GenX. Whether they hold themselves here or they go ahead and they are trying to do the bridge camping stuff, is it going to be successful? successful. Damage was definitely delivered by Jarvis, but not sufficient enough to get the knock. Circle might take a shift anytime soon, and let's see who is going to get the best of advantage with the circle shift and who is going to be who's going to have a bad fate. And clock tower certain part are certainly within the circle. So once again, team NMY will have to pick up a momentum.
Oh,
and
no.
they've also got the grenade launcher. Successful attempt, and he's able to pin down one player, take down one. Is he going to go for the confirmation? No. Right on time. Chrono shield is being deployed. The player is healed up, and once again, the repetition of the same moment is coming in. It is going to be revive, and mid to long range fights are for the same revive and knock situation on repeat mode.
𝐂𝐤𝐿 perched up in the second floor of that building. It's going to be difficult. Okay, so that's the first floor rather, but it's going to be very difficult for him to hold on. Look at that. Team Revolution still holding on to this sniper tower. These teams don't really have a lot of real estate to work with. The clock tower position was fine, but then the circle moves out of the clock tower, and this is completely out in the open. So many teams perched up in a single position on the left hand side of the circle. It's going to be a royal rumble out there. Not a lot of teams are going to survive that. It's kind of peaceful at the moment because most of the teams, they're still trying to hold on to their position. This is just the fourth circle, Danya. But as soon as the fifth circle comes in, that is going to be when all the kills go down. Everything goes south. 𝐂𝐤𝐿 gets the kill for himself. Shanti goes down. Team Hawkeye Esports don't really have a lot of men alive. 𝐂𝐤𝐿 might actually get taken down. Okay, so the Playzone got one. He will get a lucky kill for himself. But no, Team Surgical Strike confirmed that. 𝐂𝐤𝐿 still trying to move out. No way he survives this. No way he survives this. The Playzone moves out. The fence really prevents him from getting inside the circle. Sanjeev will be eliminated nevertheless. But NMY Lord Raj, will he find a kill for himself though?
Let's see if he's going to find himself a kill or no, because one of the players already eliminated. And talking about the current team, Team OP, who has been picking up the first battle, is also surviving to pick up the final battle as well. And now with very little players remaining, zone is also not going to favor much of the area. They have lost Kunal Jr., Lord Raj, Sid and Aryan survives and are also trying to enter the circle where they are able to eliminate GenX Force with. And this is the first frag by far, because they were into the dead center where they did not have to pick much of battle. And it is Team OP 𝐂𝐤𝐿 from the sniper tower giving the perfect sniper shot, who's also able to eliminate Surgical Strike, and this is the triple kill for 𝐂𝐤𝐿 with the sniper, and 𝐂𝐤𝐿 spotted, taken down, revival right on time, and the stack up of Team OP that I was very worried. I mean, that was a cause of concern for me, but they are trying to pick up as much advantage as possible. They're holding the snipers, each 4 players, and are trying to pick as many kills as possible. 3 teams, 10 players remaining, and it is Team Revolution is also able to take down NMY Delhi completely out of the server with 2 teams and 7 players remaining.
It is a 4v3, Tanya. Team OP, they still have all those 4 players, but all of them are perched up in the single sniper tower. They go down, and sure, the bullets are going to come flying. 𝐂𝐤𝐿 gets taken down. The revive is going to be very, very difficult. All the players from Team Revolution are in a position where they can eliminate them. The glue walls come out for sure, but the circle is converging. At this point, it's just a matter of time before everything goes south. Grenades have been launched. Grenades have been thrown in as well, but nothing connects as of yet. A little bit of damage dealt. 𝐷AME82B gets one. One play goes down from Team OP. At this point, they are a 3-man side. All of them, they can't come charging and blitzkrieg. Tiger, he gets one. He connects one headshot and he goes on a killing spree. He gets one. He gets 2. Only 1 player survives inside the glue wall. And I believe it's going to be Rishabh. And he will get taken down as well. Team OP, they were in prime position for winning this one. This was a 4v3. But they were taken down. Beautiful stuff by Team Revolution. And I just can't praise them enough, Tanya. That was amazing, amazing teamwork right there. And especially Blitz Tiger. I read his name wrongly over there, but he did things so well.
Definitely, he did it so much more what was expected, and I'll be very honest, I was not expecting the first match to be too heated up. I thought it might be a warm-up match. These teams are going to unite. They are going to see the rotations, but no, there was not even a smell of fear seen anywhere from any of the team. It was land and fight situation. No, they went fearless. Going to the main circle area, they were fearless. And talking about Team OP, they were flawlessly able to take every single battle, but then comes Team Revolution. They were not into the circle as well. They had to pave their way, but certainly still they were able to being less in numbers. That already shows the firepower that the teammates possess, and the team support can never be denied.
You talked about teams being scared. I mean, I saw a lot of teams trying to run away from fights using their vehicles, which was a bit comical, honestly. But it's fine, I guess. It's just the first game. I mean, Bermuda wasn't really as tactical as we expected. There were a lot of kills right from the get-go, right? I mean, we remember from FFIC and FF tri-series onwards, I mean, most of the teams were trying to play so tactically, trying to, go for the rotations and go for the final circle, go for the fights in the final third of the game. This was not the case. They landed and they got in the fight right from the get-go, and that was pretty surprising to me.
Yeah, that was a surprising element for me as well. And the players were they were ready to engage into the fight, but the moment they start losing player, that is when they started to go towards the vehicle to just race out of to the battle, but then they were not allowed to do the same. So maybe this is just the first match for them. They are going to get to more, they are going to get a lot of practice time by time, and this was just the first match. So yeah, we can definitely count this as a warm-up match, but certainly it was very heated up. But next map is going to be Purgatory, where rotations are going to matter way much more, because the circles are tend to give it even much more trouble than what any opponent teams are doing. When it consists of the water routes, it makes even more difficult how to enter the circle, certainly.
Absolutely. I mean, I've always said this, right? Bermuda is a place, or Bermuda is a map where you can actually play tactically and play according what you have planned from your drawing room. But in Purgatory, all of those things go south. Everything gets thrown out of the window because you have to play on your instincts. You need to get your frags, pave your way inside the circle, just like you mentioned. And it does not matter if you get a waterway right in front, because you have to cross it either way. And Purgatory is going to be that map where I feel like these aggressive teams are again going to feel at home because they want to get kills. This is the Delhi finals again. This is final Tanya. Come on. They are going to get one shot to the national finals, and I guess these teams would take it. I love the fact that new teams are coming up. I mean, Team Revolution, they have certain names who have represented them before, right? But I mean, when they got the fight against teams like Last Breath and especially LVL Iconic, those were brilliant. A team which really surprised me was Hawkeye Esports. Sure, they were reduced down to like 1 or 2 players very early on the game, but didn't really, change their playing style. Heartbreakers did fantastic. I mean, their fight against Team Last Breath was something which I'm going to praise forever, because Ankit was there, Janu with that grenade getting 2 players off of Team Last Breath. That was insane.
Yeah, that was insane. But then once again, experience comes to its play. Last Breath was able to win that battle particularly, and the cocoon of blue wall, that was just on point. And at that point of time, if any player would have decided to give that grenade on point, maybe they could have got 2 to 3 kills alongside. But yeah, it was the fate, it was the destiny, or it was the hard work coming in from Last Breath, whatever it was. But it was the perfect play that we could have expected from Last Breath. And talking about the Booyah Baggers, and they have raised my hope particularly, because each and every team is not much of they are yet to gain that sort of name. So it has been already a team which I'll keep my eyes on about how they are going to pick up the battles. And to the viewers, why shouldn't we go relive the moments where these new teams have performed best of the plays and team OP top notch play, we can say. Why? And now certainly I don't know why do they have top in front of each and every player. Niku was able to just push in with a max 7, also confirm the kill for his team, and fearlessly just pushing in over time and not allowing any player to go back foot. The way He-Man did try to pick up a battle, then again try to go back foot, but certainly the vehicles was on the verge of blasting, and there was nothing much more that they could have done. Niku over here was able to confirm 2 or 3 kills for sure.
They have top in front of their name probably because they want to scare their opposition that they are the top players. This was again, I feel there was certain issues with Nightmare. He wasn't really aware that there is a team over there in Hangar, but then this fight was insane. The way Team God came back, that way Team God, like using their grenades, got those kills and completely scared Team LVL Iconic, Aladdin, and I believe it was Draking who just completely ran away from that fight. Good stuff from Team Godlike over there. Team DU in this fight was a bit sketchy. Renu would try to confirm the kill, but no, the shots coming in from Viper will take him down. But I mean, this is where we got to see a lot of fights, right? Team Godlike was probably eliminated, and then another team rushes in and they start taking the fight against this team. That was Team Last Breath. Look at the way they got these players. They were so scared. They wanted to move out of this place as soon as possible using their grenade, but then coming in from behind, Ashu Star destroyed that vehicle, completely destroying the team as well. Again, Heartbreakers. Again, this fight against Team Last especially a 2v4 situation, that grenade was so good. I thought that when they neutralized the situation to a 2v2, that could have been that could have been the trick, that could have been the ace card. But Janu, trying to be a bit over ambitious, goes inside those blue walls, breaks them, and gets taken down by Aim God. Either way, Ankit tried his level best. He didn't really try to go and survive and play for placement points because he knew that he wouldn't really be able to survive being a one-man player, but he was taken down as well. But a lot of interesting moments, Tanya, and this was one of them, the grenade launcher.
Yeah, certainly it was one of the most interesting fights, but then the players were getting knocked and revived. It was all health kits that were already used, and how can we forget the race coming in for the safe zone and the player getting choked to the circle, and here they were able to eliminate GenX Force. Alongside, they were also attempting to eliminate Surgical Strike, but then Team OP came up from the sniper tower. It was 𝐂𝐤 once again with the perfect sniper shot, who was able to confirm the kill, and this is the exact battle, a very interesting one, a perfect gatekeeping scenario. NMY Delhi was completely stopped by Team Revolution's Black Tiger, who did not allow, who was also able to acquire some kills because the damage was also dealt by the Team OP, and over here with the sniper, perfect attacks coming in. 𝐂𝐤 was taken down, who was the MVP by far for the team, and without 𝐂𝐤, I felt the team was a little bit shaky. Team OP needs 𝐂𝐤 to get into the booyah zone, and let's see how long can Black Tiger give the same enthusiasm that the team requires to go ahead with the booyah. And over here we are with the game 1 Stangens, Team Revolution with 1 booyah, and total of 21 teams, only team to get the total of 20s, and Team OP definitely gave their best with total of 16 points, followed by Last Breath 14 and Surgical Strike. This is the last team to acquire the double-digit club, and after that we're seeing the solo single markers. And talking about Illusion Esports, this team definitely need to give their 100% to at least go ahead from 0.
Tanya. And something which I take from this placements is that only the top 4 teams have actually got a lot of kills for themselves. Surgical Strike with 5, but after that, Team OP, Last Breath, and Revolution all upwards of 7 to even 9 kills. So that goes to show that if you get placements and if you find yourself in good positions, your kills will come as a byproduct. You need not go aggressive right from the start, right? Illusion Esports, they knew that they had a player right adjacent to them, but they didn't care about it. They tried to go in, the players tried to push in one by one, and they all fell. I believe it was Team Top Esports, that is Team OP. The MVP is going to be on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. But before that, Tanya, I want you to take a predict. I mean, okay, fine. I wanted you to predict, but we knew, right? It's going to be Black Tiger. Got 6 kills, 1,678 points of damage. That is an insane figure right from the beginning of the Delhi finals.
Yeah, definitely. And Team Revolution is going to be on my keen eyes because they have performed very well, and particularly talking about Black Tiger, the way he was able to pick up the sniper shots into the close range as well, because you never tend to use sniper rifles for the close battle, but this man made it look so easy. Walk and knock with the sniper. How is it even possible? I was just on the verge of imagination. But then certainly they have practiced so much. They have given a lot of hours to gain this sort of play, and certainly he deserves to be the MVP for the map man with total of 6 kills. Though I would not say the damage points are giving justice to the kills he has taken. Maybe some of the players have got knocked up and revived as well, whatever was the case of scenario. But this team has definitely showed that being less in number doesn't matter. Being in the circle doesn't matter. They had to pave their way within the circle. They were also able to gatekeep, and they have done everything required. But now there's one more question that lies for them, that is consistency. Salty, they have shown the best of the skills in first game, but they have to put up even more efforts, because certainly now other teams knows that Black Tiger is one of the MVP player, where we cannot battle it out into the close range even when he doesn't possess that sort of weapon what it takes to go for the close battle. May it be shotgun, may it be SMG, he can pick up the battle with the sniper for the close range as well. So yeah, first map was for the warm up. Now they know, they have the exact knowledge for Bermuda map, but certainly Purgatory is again going to be a surpriseful. Yeah, it is going to be the element of surprise, the landings, the drop points, everything.
Absolutely. Purgatory has always been a surprise for us because if you find yourself at the bottom of the points table, I guess Purgatory is going to be your best bet to come in and get a winner, get a booyah for yourself, and then find yourself maybe inside the top 5. And that gives you a window to actually come back. And I would remind the format again to the viewer. The top number 1 from today's grand final is going to proceed to the national final. Need to keep that place right at the top. Team Revolution, you mentioned it rightly, Tanya. They need to be very, very consistent at this point, because otherwise, even if they trickle down to the second position or even the third or fourth position, they would have to go through the play-ins, which again is a very, very difficult place to go through. You have to play 2 days, as play-ins as well as a play-in final, and only two teams from that entire 2 days duration is going to qualify to the national finals. It's a very tough place to be in, and I wouldn't want to be there. And I guess Team Revolution, who is of course the number one team after the first game, wouldn't want to be there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And he to solidify their post where they are being the table topper. And I think they are going to do whatever it takes to be on number one and to gain the name of Delhi Titans, ladies and gentlemen. Is also going to be ready, and the next map is going to be Purgatory, one of the finest maps. And I would really go for Brasilia if I had to land and if I had to jump in for Delhi Titans name. But let's see where these players wants to go ahead. So ladies and gentlemen, second right in front of our screen. Last Breath has already taken the lead. We can see them near to Marble Works as of now.
Yeah, all these players, they want to win at this point. What must be going on right now? They want to get a good early drop location, get some loot for themselves, get as much real estate as they can inside the final circle, and then may try and go for the booyah. As you mentioned, Tanya, two teams are probably dropping in Brasilia. Are they number 5? That is Team Godlike. Is it Team Godlike? No, it is Team Generation X Force. So they are dropping on the outskirts of Brasilia. Team Revolution are also there as well. Now, Team Hawkeye Esports will get the majority of the cons, right? They'll get the majority of the loots, but on the extreme right hand side we find Team NMY Delhi who have chosen 𝐂𝐤𝐿odge for themselves. In Forge, or rather in between Forge and 𝐂𝐤𝐿odge, we'll find Team Surgical Strike and Team Godlike in Forge.
So Brasilia is highly populated with total of 3 teams already landing there. Hawkeye Esports, and alongside it is going to be GenX. In previous game, we did see GenX Sports were able to survive into top 3, but right now, into the fight of Forge, who is going to survive is the biggest question. Godlike Tista is able to spot Style. It was actually the names are new. It was 𝐂𝐤𝐿oD, definitely. He was trying to connect some shots, unfortunately wasn't able to connect any. Let's see with the advantage of height. Is he going to get a flawless spotting? And indeed he does. He's able to spot the enemies. He's able to also deliver some of the damage, but not sufficient enough to confirm the knock.
No,
And
Tanya.
look at the spread out. Oh, certainly it is going to be Ashish with the perfect K9 12 shots. Ashish acquires the first kill for themselves. So Godlikes are definitely the first blood for the team.
We'll have a look at the scoreboard again to remind us what's at stake. Team Revolution at 21 points in Team OP, of course, closely falling behind with 16 points. We haven't talked much about this team, honestly, Tanya, but I feel they did well, especially right from the start. They got kills at the start. They really kept up the momentum, right? They didn't put their foot away from the gas, and that resulted them to come out of Bermuda with 16 points, which is again a good start for them. I believe that they have the potential to come right at the top and challenge Team Revolution for that number 1 spot. But Team Godlike, getting that first kill for them was fine, but they're not pressing forward. And this is something which I like. You get a kill, you fall back, you get 1 point, you secure points for yourself, but you don't want to lose players. You don't want to lose bodies in the process of acquiring more points. Get placement for yourselves, get good positioning, and then kills are just going to flow in. At least that was something which was very evident from the first game itself. All 4 players still alive, still trying to go for loots, but I want to see what is going to be the strategy from Team Surgical Strike. They've lost a player early on. This can really hamper their tactics moving on the game.
Yeah, indeed, they are going to hamper because competing 3 versus 4, though it was Team Revolution was able to go ahead to pick up the battle, being less in number, winning it out, but not everyone is able to do that, and you really never know who is going to be the opponent right in front of you. Talking about God, I definitely like the strategy. They are not pushing in, even when they know they have got the advantage of numbers, even when they are aware that if more numbers push in, they still are not wanting to get any bit of a damage. All they want to do is survive as a squad, and when can you survive as a squad, you definitely have got a little bit of extra point of advantage to go ahead for the Booyah, though Booyah is going to take more 15 minutes. But talking about Team Revolution, with a total of 0 kills near to the campsite and also within the edge of the circle, BLK Tiger, MVP for the previous map, he's going ahead for the mushroom to acquire some extra EP. If at all a little bit of damage is taken, they can immediately quickly stand back in their foot without any inhalers or as well as any health kits. Talking about GenX Force, the squad is all safe. I'm not sure sharing the grounds with anyone, and vending machine is very nearby, and this is going to give an extra point of it, as many grenades as possible, because ultimately for the close battle when you go, it is always glue wall that you secure yourself from the enemies, but grenade a little bit part of the southern island, the western island, and a majority of the mainland.
Yeah, it is, and because when the circle converges, there is still the probability that it can end in marble works, also come back to the mainland, right? So these players have to keep guessing, not just from the start, but till the end. Where is the circle going to end? On top of that, players are converting, right? Look at Team so close, Team Lush, where this fight can build up any moment. Shots being exchanged. Nothing coming out as of yet. I guess Team OP will be moving away from this fight. They are on a vehicle. They find the shack for themselves, but eventually counterparts being coming at 𝐅𝐢𝐳 survives that. But I guess now most of the players from Team Last, they're aware the Team 7, that is Team P, is very well present there. All 4 players perched up in that single shack. This can allow them to kind of spread out and converge from all directions. This can be deadly for Team OP if they do it, if they execute the strat properly.
Let's see what is the exact strat coming in for Last Breath. At this point of time, all 4 players are safe and sound, and maybe they don't want to go ahead with the battle. They are waiting for the right time. And talking about the time, in time, we're also seeing a third party sharing the ground, which is going to be Delhi to UK. We did see some extra usage of vehicles again, and this is what I was talking about in the beginning. We are seeing a lot of vehicle rotation. Importance of rotation is being they are keeping a keen eye on the rotation, and the easiest way is use the vehicle, rush in as soon as the circle closes in. But let's see, Last Breath, are they going to get sandwiched, or are they going to deal one by one with each team? Because on their right we can see there is Team OP, on the left side there is Team Delhi to UK, but if two teams can come to a conclusion for the hard time for Team.
Exactly, but look at their position though. Team with that from that sniper rifle on, but the player will be right eventually. Number 3 is also there. They can themselves in a very precarious spot, Tanya, because they are right by the riverbank, and in that position you don't really have a lot of cover, right? Apart from that shack, if a lot of lead comes your way, you probably will survive.
And going to be Circle, the final decision maker, which way to go and which way not to go. Talking about Last Breath, they are overexposing themselves on the top, because yes, you do have the advantage of when you don't have the hard cover. With this sort of advantage, you can really be spotted with the sniper skull shots, and we've already seen K9 delivering the damage in the first blood as well. First blood was drawn around 3 minutes somewhere, and from then we have not seen even a single battle, even a single elimination, not even a single loss of player anywhere. But it is Brasilia which is getting some heat over here, and to raise the heat, we are also seeing the UAV right above their head. Each and every player exactly know where the opponent is, and now how are they going to use it for the advantage? NMY Delhi is right in front of us. Team Revolution is also over here, and one more team, which is going to be 𝐂𝐲𝐈 Esports. These 3 teams definitely has got a good firepower, but which is the team who is going to survive from here, from the difficult Bermuda Triangle that they have created? Who is going to go away surviving? Are they going to move out healthfully, or are they going to have an unhealthy team remaining? Because if we look at the current situation, 𝐂𝐲𝐈 Esports, they are moving out, doesn't want to battle as of yet.
Yeah, it looks like there is an invisible peace treaty between these teams, but oh no, look at that illusion. Yes, they find themselves completely surrounded by Team LVL Iconic. This can be deadly for Team Illusion if they expose a single peak. The grenades are already coming in. It's not even like Team Iconic don't have any information of Team Illusion's presence. The grenades angry, already cooking that native. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Angry gets one kill onto Foxy. I guess the kill might be confirmed, but the rest of the 3 players are so far away from him. I don't even think that the revive is going to be coming in. Draking, following up with the grenade, wanting to confirm the kill as soon as possible. But this is a 4v3, Tanya. The players from LVL Iconic, they're confident, they're charging in. All the players from Team Illusion, yes, they are well separated. This should give them some sort of real estate to work with. Counter grenades coming in, Angry protects himself, but Draking has been taken down in the process. Aladdin still trying to provide backup fire from behind, but then there are other teams. Team NMY Delhi come up as well. This is not looking good for Team LVL Iconic. This can go down south very quickly.
Let's see for whom is it going to go south at this point of time. Circle is favoring them. Look at the water route and the way they have shared the grounds. Upper ground, the wooden shack being conquered, contested totally by Illusion Esports, and it is Iconic who are getting a little more than restless to confirm the kill, and Iconic has got some grenade strategies to confirm the knocks, and the damage was not even delivered by a bit by Aladdin. No, certainly a little bit of damage was delivered, but it was not sufficient enough to confirm the knock, and Illusion with little to no HP races out of height. Aladdin is able to pick the knock right through the glue wall, and over here is also able to pick the second knock on the line. Lord Raj is trying to take as much as advantage possible from the height that they are holding themselves up to, and Illusion Esports totally eliminated, and 𝐂𝐲 is lost on the course. So LVL Iconic were definitely able to procure 3 kills, but on the course 𝐂𝐲 was highest fragger for the previous match, if I'm not mistaken, and with that sort of MVP flair for that, they're losing this sort of player. Maybe they're going to have a little more hardship following, but they are not afraid of anything. NMY Delhi, right in front of their eyes, they are trying to confirm the knocks and kills, damage being delivered by Draking with the sniper shots.
Yeah. At this point, Team LVL Iconic don't really have anything to worry about. I guess they are inside the circle. The danger zone is also on them. They should just hold this position just for a moment, but NMY Delhi, what do they do at this point? They can't converge on Team LVL Iconic. There is a very open stretch of land, and they will be well exposed. They try to do that, I guess they will be dead meat by any second. Apart from that, if you look at Brasilia, though, we have 3 teams quite separated, no real fight battling up very quickly. This is just the second circle, Tanya, so most of the teams are pretty healthy at this point. But when the circle closes in, when the circle becomes smaller and smaller, that is when all these teams in Brazil are going to have a very tough time trying to survive. Team Last Breath also trying to move up. Team number 7, I believe, is Team OP. Will they take the fight against them, though? We have seen Team Last Breath in this position for quite a while, and they haven't moved. And so has been Team OP. They've been here since the first circle.
And they're not willing to pick up the fight. The way they have battled in the previous map, which was Bermuda, it is entirely different play that I'm seeing. The way previously the teams were kill hungry, they wanted to win the battle anyhow. This time around, they're waiting for the circle to move in, and then the battles coming up on their way, getting engaged into the battles that are coming up their way. They are not stepping towards the battle. They are waiting for the battles to come in, and that is a strategy for each and every team. So let's see. Ultimately, it is the circle who will decide that which team is going to end up where to ultimately decide to battle it out, to pick up the fight, because you need to pick up the initiative to get extra kills, extra kill points. And talking about Last Breath, they're also having a good spot where they are able to call themselves some summon airdrops, and we're also seeing the same summon airdrops for the team OP right now. They're having a set of 4 summon airdrops already. So yeah, it is that the loot is not over yet, the battle is not over yet, and UAV revelation is also not over yet. So now with this sort of revelation, are they going to go ahead to pick up the fights aggressively, bite off their enemies with the weapons that they are possessing? And it is Team OP Rahul is able to spot out and is also able to deliver some damage and also confirm the knock. But is he going to go ahead with the confirmation for the kill, or the teammates are going to come for the rescue?
I don't think he has a line of sight onto the other player so that he can confirm the kill. Kaushik still trying to be very cheeky on top of the summon airdrop, trying to find a pixel, but he wouldn't be able to do that, though. Last Breath. I mean, it's very surprising that they're holding this open area for so long, and Team OP OP, they haven't moved because they know for a fact that Team Large Breath has tagged them. They try to do any sort of maneuver, they will be shut down almost instantly. But the circle, this can cause some problems for Team Large Breath, because look at the circle, Tanya. It is on to team number 7, that is Team OP, of course. So Team Large Breath will have to find some sort of rotation or the other. And finding team number 10 on the left hand side, this can be problematic. They might be stuck in a position where they can't come out of.
And Anuj certainly is struggling enough, but the team support comes in. Anuj is also getting the revive. They are taking the cover of the summon airdrop as of now, but how long can they survive with such a small hard cover? Talking about last breath now, certainly they are deciding to pick up the fight, and that fight is going to be against Delhi to UK. Grenades are also popping in, but the grenades are not delivering any damage as of now. 𝐂𝐤𝐿 has already used his required chrono shield for the close battle, and now it is going to take a little longer to again refuel the ability. So 𝐅𝐢𝐵𝐿 is also ready with the SKS in his hands. Is he also going to go ahead for the knock? Certainly, yes, they are able to knock down one player and also confirming the kill. Last breath is definitely overpowering, and now they are able to utilize this exact location with all the advantage probability that they have. And now they're not only picking up the battle with one team, they are trying to pick up battle in all different angles. Now for this, they might have to pay a little more than what they are expecting, and also confirming the kills. 3 kills already into the pockets without losing any player except for aimbot with little to no HP left. He needs to heal up as early as possible because the battle is not going to stop. The circle is not in their favor, and GenX Force getting eliminated.
This can go very ugly right now, Tanya. This entire region might turn into a graveyard, because Team OP, they are in a position where they can really gatekeep all these teams coming in from behind, right? Team number 9, team number 1, all these teams might suffer. 𝐅𝐢𝐵𝐿 connects a shot, gets Ari, and will get the kill for himself. This is their first kill as of yet. Imagine having just a single kill in your entire team, but you're making other teams so paranoid about yourself. None of them have the courage to converge onto you. This is such an open territory. Team Godlike is also taking their fight against Team Heartbreaker, but the focus is going to be this region. The circle has a majority of the mainland. Now, this Marbleworks Island is going to be suffering a lot. 𝐅𝐢𝐵𝐿 getting tagged. Team NMY, they have the M249 to work with. Team OP coming in from behind will get few kills for themselves. Hawkeye Esports will suffer. Team Surgical Strike also getting some kills for themselves. Team LVL Iconic are in the mix. Last bet, aimbot goes down, 𝐂𝐤𝐿 goes down as well. 𝐅𝐢𝐵𝐿 is already down. It all comes down to Adam and his double barrel shotgun. Will he connect some shots? So taking a lot of damage from the play zone. Gets one. Will he get the kill? At least he can get the kill before dying. No, that does not happen. Rahul, he gets the kill onto Adam. But Team OP, they got a lot of kills in very quick succession. 6 kills to work with, 3 for 𝐅𝐢𝐵𝐿. But what do they do right now? The circle has moved past them, and it is completely on the other side. 6 teams and 16 players will converge on top of this cliff. No cover whatsoever. Everything comes down to your glue walls. 3 players still trying to create an opening for their team. Team LVL Iconic, look at their position. They can completely tag Team OP at this point, and they can move nowhere. 𝐂𝐤𝐿 connects a grenade onto Sap and will get a kill, but Godlike, their elimination comes as a big surprise. Team LVL Iconic, their position is lethal, Tanya. They look well settled for a booyah if they can hold on to this position, if they can survive all those lead that is coming in their way. Look at their scopes. 𝐅𝐢𝐵𝐿 still trying to break those glue walls, still trying to push them to their limits. Will get Draking. Will he get the kill, though? That is going to be the question. Players on top. Team Top Esports might just expose themselves. They will go into the water. This can be a big risk. Will they be able to survive, though? Team Revolution, they come in with the kill. 𝐂𝐤𝐿 has been sacrificed. 2 players running in inside the circle. 𝐧 will go down, and only a single player survives. 2 teams, 1 team when Team Revolution has been taken down. But Team OP, out of nowhere, out of a position where they should have not won, they get the booyah for themselves, Tanya. This is insane.
That was a beautiful insane that we can say, because they were out once again. They proved themselves. They were out of the circle. They were less in number, and this time it was 𝐅𝐢𝐵 who was able to acquire as many sniper shots as possible, as many sniper kills as possible. They were able to eliminate various teams. They were able to eliminate Hawkeye Esports. They were able to eliminate LVL Iconic, and ultimately the last team that was standing against them, they were also successfully able to eliminate them. So Team OP definitely gave all the best efforts that they had within them, and it ultimately circle gave a brutal shift. They had to cross the rivers, and that is when I felt for a second the difficult times are in. But then they use the floaters to rush in, to push in, and then ultimately everything comes in down into the hands of 𝐅𝐢𝐵, where he's also able to knock the final nail in the coffin and end it up with a strong booyah for themselves.
I love it, honestly, Tanya, because you remember we mentioned that Team Revolution is there at as number one, but then Team OP is closely falling behind. They're gonna give them a lot of tough competition. This Puya can really change things up. The battle at the top is heating up, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Free Fire City Open Delhi Finals, and honestly, just like I said, bringing some trumpets, bringing some horns, because these teams are really giving us a show.
Definitely, and the show is unexpected. Yeah, we did see a play of patience coming in, but ultimately it is purgatory. You ought to have this sort of patience because the map is one of the biggest map. You need to give the importance to rotations, and Team OP is having a thing for the sniper towers where they're able to predict the zone as well every single time. For first map, I just thought maybe yeah, correct zone prediction. They're holding the sniper tower
Yeah.
yet again. They're able to hold the exact sniper tower once again within the circle, and they're able to pick kills from there in a minute. When we said that Team OP has got 0 kills, and just within 60 seconds after past that, we were able to say that they've already procured a total of 5 kills. So Team OP is definitely going aggressive when they have to go ahead for the kills. They also go for the wooden shacks. They are able to clarify. They're also able to eliminate the team standing there, and we can appreciate the play coming in from Team Revolution as well, how they're able to survive until the final circle with the kills that they pick being less in numbers, still coming in top 2, top 3 every single time. But the question is the balance going to be shaken up a little? Compare If we compare the kills this time, we cannot say that only top 4 teams were able to pick up the kills. There were certainly new names also added up
Yep.
where we did see the kills coming in from other teams.
Absolutely. But I mean, the best part about Purgatory is that you cannot plan anything, right? And we talked about it. I mean, who could have imagined a team that is completely pinned down in a shack by the riverbank will win a game at the end of it? I mean, I had no clue. And honestly, I don't think Team OP planned that. They kept themselves inside that shack just because of the fact that Team Last Breath was on top of the cliff. They had themselves completely pinned out and tagged as well. So they could have done anything and they will be shut down. So that was there. And I guess that is the only reason why they kept themselves quiet inside the shack. They were trading blows at each other, but the revives were coming in, and we know for a fact how long distance battle pan now. But at the end of it, Team OP come out on top. Let's just watch the highlights where they do it once again. I mean, look at this, Tanya. 6 minutes, 47 seconds into the game. Team OP find themselves in the shack already. And I guess they're going to hold it for the entire duration of it. Wonderful grenade coming in from Angry, which destroys Team Illusion. But I also feel bad for Team Illusion ES, honestly, because they were like the meat in between the two buns, like a burger between Team LVL Iconic and Team NMY Delhi. But I mean, this happens. This happens in almost all of Battle Royale.
Yeah, it is a part and parcel of the Battle Royale how flawlessly Team Iconic was able to eliminate one of the team, and were also able to deliver as much of damage possible from being to the lower ground, and delivering the damage to upper ground is one of the most difficult part. And Last Breath, look at the IQ that they used. They were literally waiting on the height. They were observing as soon as the players start to run in for the circle, for the savior, for the safe zone. They are going to confirm the knocks and kills, as many kills as possible. And they also were fearlessly able to pick kills in all two different directions. If they would have been the center of attraction, then it would have been an entirely different scenario. But then they were able to eliminate as many players coming in on their way. Talking about Team OP, at 15 minutes, 27 seconds, they started picking up the first frag, and from here on, they went unstoppable. They were able to eliminate various teams. Last Breath, Adam, one of the MVP player, usual MVP player for Last Breath, he was able to pick one. Ultimately, it was Zone who was able to win the zone. Black Tiger was able to pick the knocks and kills. Talking about Rishabh, the way he was using MA2B with the perfect shots penetrating through the blue wall, knocking the players, eliminating an LVL Iconic, getting eliminated exactly at this point of time.
You know, I love the fact that Team OP, they know that the circle is at them. There is a very open space right in front of them. They have no way to survive this playing passive. They just go completely aggressive. They try and break their other opponent's walls, right? They go hard against Team LVL Iconic, and they try and break their defenses, and they do that. And in the process, they find themselves in a position that they can cross the river and also get Team Revolution as well. This is game 2 standings, ladies and gentlemen. You mentioned rightly, at 15-minute mark, Team OP, they start their journey for getting kills. At the end of the game, they have 13 of it. A lot of people might actually downgrade those kills and say that, oh, they were at the center of the circle, they were the center of attraction, and all the players were just converging on them. I mean, okay, that is a little bit of it is fine, but the way they got the booyah for themselves through the river, I mean, that is pure tactics, that is pure map awareness and also game awareness, Tanya.
And this time, I love you to say I'm going to predict. I think Rishabh might be the MVP, but we're going to get to see the current standings before that. Team OP is procuring the position 1 and getting also closer to the name of Delhi Titans. Many more matches to go ahead, but for the first segment, definitely Team OP is seen on the position 1 with 41 points and little margin of buffer points in position 1 and 2, which is going to be points. Team Revolution stumbling position 2, last breath, getting a good upshift without any booyah. They are able to position themselves on position 3 with 22 points. Surgical Strike 21. Rest all are into the 10s yet. They are not able to even go ahead to the 20 marker as of now. And ultimately, Illusion Esports is able to get one single point for themselves. So now there's nobody with a 0 next to their name.
Interestingly, Tanya, I mean, we do have the MVP on our screen, and I don't think it should surprise any one of us. It has to be Rishabh. The way he was breaking those walls, the way he was creating space for his team was insane. But the point that I was trying to point over there was that it's interesting that none of the teams, not the Experience Iconic or the other team that is Last Breath, they don't find themselves in the top 2, which is kind of surprising to me because both Team OP and Revolution come in with new rosters and they're certainly dominating at the top 2 at this point. Mind of the day.
Yeah, let's see, because consistency is the key to procure the title of Delhi Titans. For now, they have been that they are doing enough to get into the position, and we're not seeing more experienced teams coming in, and then every player has come through a filtration for qualifying into the teams, into the top 12 teams who are going to battle into the grand finals of Delhi Titans title for FFCO. So yeah, we are not seeing any renowned names. We are seeing new names. So look, even if we talk about this energy, even if we talk about the bond building up, they have built up quite too strongly. They are able to hold into the circle. They are able to acquire as many kills as possible. And TOP is the only team who was able to enter into the double-digit club as well. And we also have a good giveaway coming up, viewers. This is the exact time that viewers usually wait out for, and the giveaway is for the t-shirts. And if you want to win it, you have to stay here, and you are going to get a code below here. Beneath that, write that code into the chat section and don't stop writing in. Just keep writing in. Next to that, write in your UID to win shirt of Delhi Titans, because today it is the battle for the date for the Delhi players. So yeah, and who wouldn't want it? Maybe I and Salty will also try our luck for the same.
Exactly. I mean, I'm just going to my live chat and I'm going to type the code as well. But I mean, you mentioned, right? It is going to be the code. FFCO Delhi Finals, pardon me for that, and the product is going to be a Delhi Titans jersey. Look at the beautiful jersey, Tanya. I mean, the color composition as well as the designs are perfect, and something to see new teams coming up. This is something which we wanted to see from FFCO. We want to see new faces, new teams coming up. And sure, it is about Team Last Breath, LVL Iconic. They are playing well. They are in the top 5. But it's not about the Mike Tysons and Muhammad Alis over here. It's all about Ryan Garcia and every other else. The new guns, the young guns who are coming up with their, not the knockout blows, but their left hooks. I love how they have been playing. But I guess these things are going to continue even longer as me and Tanya, we're going to go for a very short break. Don't go anywhere because you got to do your work. You got to go in a live chat and type up the code. We'll be right back very soon.
बेस्ट मेमोरेबल मोमेंट तो यही है, एफएफसीओ में क्वालिफाई हो चुके हम।
सपोर्ट की बात है, कोई भी प्लेयर अपने फैमिली सपोर्ट के बिना आगे जा नहीं सकता,
लेकिन स्पेशली मेरा मम्मी, उन्होंने मेरे को मतलब बहुत सपोर्ट किया है।
एक बड़ा टूर्नामेंट जीतना है, कोई बस एक बार नाम करना है।
ये गिल्ड लीडर है, वही मेरे को ट्राई किए थे ई स्पोर्ट्स आने के लिए।
मेरे इस टीम में ये सभी सपोर्टिव रहे।
गोल यही है कि वर्ल्ड सीरीज चैंपियन रहे, इंडिया
रिप्रेजेंटिंग इंडिया इन वर्ल्ड सीरीज, दैट्स फॉर श्योर।
मैं यहाँ पर ये ट्राई करूंगा कि मैं अपनी टीम को सबसे ऊंचे स्थान तक लेकर जा सकूं।
सबसे अच्छी बात ये है कि मेरी टीम नहीं है, मेरे लिए फैमिली मेंबर जैसे ही।
मोटिवेट तो फ्रेंड्स ही करते हैं, जब आप गेम खेलते हैं।
मैं यही आशा करूंगा कि हमारी टीम जो है ई स्पोर्ट खेल के बहुत आगे जाए।
सर्वाइवर, स्वागत है आपका FFCO टुनाइट में। मेरा नाम है रंजीत महाबा सीनियर पटेल और मेरे साथ आज भी भारद्वाज।
FFCO के लिए मैं उतना थ्रिल्ड हूं।
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Free Fire City Open. This is the Delhi Finals. My name is Crips, and with me is OG the low-res chicken. We're going to be taking you through the remaining two games, at least for now. And oh my, what a wonderful show we have had so far. Team Revolution, Team OP, both of them have been dominating the lobby, and both of them have just interchanged places. One of them got first place in the first game, second in the second, and then vice versa. And with these two teams topping the leaderboards, I'm starting to feel a little concerned about everyone else.
Oh yeah, for sure, Crips. It's a start that Team OP and Team Revolution have been asking for. And again, with the way the first two games have gone, both these teams have consistently placed towards the top three. Hence, they'll be in a good position to push for as much of a lead as possible, right? Now is the chance where they can potentially claim for more. But again, this is the segment of the day where a lot of the underdogs do start to prey at the meat that's ahead of them. So I'm looking forward to LVL Iconic's return to potentially the lead. I think that's been the team that both of us have been looking forward to. And this just screams more Booyah action ahead of us.
Yeah, it screams action from the top of our lungs, from the top of the rooftops. And the only thing that I'm looking forward to is Kalahari. We've seen these teams go for some chaotic plays, and for the most part, the zone in the first two maps has been more or less predictable. Team Revolution, Team OP both found themselves in the circle in both the maps. It's just, there's no particular reason why they won their games. Anybody could have taken that game away. And in Kalahari, I think that will change because the terrain of the map is very, very unpredictable. And even if you can predict where the circle will move, there's not much you can do about it in order to get to the circle first, because there will be people who will have certain height advantage over you. So both these teams, I believe, are on an equal footing so far. And I would go ahead and say that the skill of these teams got them into the top three.
Yeah.
But only luck got them the booyah. That's what I'm going to say so far. Maybe that will change in Kalahari because this map demands a lot more from you in terms of rotations.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I like the fact that you mentioned that the first two maps were won purely on the basis of positioning, as that being the most impactful aspect of the first two maps. I feel like Kalahari is the best way to reset that, right? A map which is very, very reliant on that early rotation. We've seen a lot of heads-up play from Refinery pan out in the last few circles, and at the end of the day, with that verticality always playing a factor in Kalahari Day, I think this is what all these teams are going to be vying for. Another chance at it, another game where the rotation is going to play key. So we need to see who gets that read first, and it's all going to be dependent on also the drops, right? This might entice a lot of early fights as well to ensure that positioning is theirs, and positioning at the end of the day being key. Team OP and Team Revolution, if they go in with that same mindset, and if that early fight doesn't pan out for them, who knows, dude? That could leave the throne open to virtually 11 other teams out there.
Yeah, so far the throne is being contested by two parties right now. Everyone else has been pretty much irrelevant. But the game is ready. The plane is about to take off. Let's see who takes it off in Kalahari. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going into the desert. The plane is in the air. The teams are ready to drop. And the path we will see in just a few minutes.
Oh boy, it's going to be interesting. A lot of drops in towards the middle already, and we do see Team OP dropping down towards that's near Clock Tower, if I'm not mistaken. That's towards Ruins, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh yeah, that's the northern part of the map for now. Most of these teams, I would even go ahead and say that this is the north western part. So we couldn't see the plain path, but given where these teams are going, I believe it would have been somewhere from the southwest to the northeast. That's what I believe that the map art would have been like. Because nobody in Stone Ridge means that the southern areas of the map are a little harder to access. Command Post has two teams inside of it. And I'm kind of excited to see which one of these teams wins, because they're the only teams that will be battling it out early. Everyone else going to different locations, nobody to contest them.
Yeah, and we already see GenX and not Iconic, right? Yeah, they're trying to go toe to toe. It's again a fight that we are really interested to see, because this is LVL's Iconic's journey back, right? There's potentially dangerous fight, could set them up well here in Kalahari, and we need to see if this pans out. Again, being a team which is in the top 5, so not that far behind Revolution and Team OP, surely in range to contest. And in general, I feel like GenX Force is going to be that one team where LVL Iconic might be able to flex a little more at. What do you feel? Is this early fight going to be that influential?
I think yes, because I see Level Iconic splitting up. 𝐂𝐲 has already moved away from this area. Aladdin also on the north border of Command Post, while the rest of his two teammates are now panning out. These guys are splitting up, not even 2-2. These guys are splitting up one each. So yeah, this 4-way split, I do not like it. Compared to what Level Iconic is doing, Team Generation X is sticking together. So that is one thing that might just turn the tide of the battle. But I also see on the map Team Revolution starting to move towards Refinery. They dropped basically in the middle of nowhere. They dropped on one of the platforms on cliffs, and now they're starting to move towards the central platform of Refinery, with one of their player, Unknown X, even going for the vehicles. No, wait, that's not even a vehicle. I believe he might have just taken the zip lines to get across and gather some more map control. So two of the teams, Level Iconic and Revolution, were splitting up. Level Iconic have just regrouped together, and I believe they're going to be going for a watchtower camp just to the north of Command Post. So yeah, that's a few of the top teams. I believe that Level Iconic has a very good chance of winning today because they are an ex-FFIC finalist. So yeah, we have some pretty big names over there. Meanwhile, there's another top tier team, Last Breath. Even they are an ex-FFIC finalist, and they're on the very upper part of the map near shrines, and they're also going for a massive split. Now they can go for a split approach because there's nobody else to contest them over here. I can't really say the same for Level Iconic and Generation X though.
Yeah, and I'm surprised to see the lack of vehicle rotations. You know, we've mentioned so much about how the rotations are going to be crucial in this map and how it is positioning at the end of the day in both map 1 and map 2, right? Where it did eventually net both Team OP and Team Revolution booyah. So the vehicle rotation still not in full display both on map 1 and map 2. Hopefully we have a little bit more to see here on map 3 so far. It's been a little dry though, and the rotation coming in from Team OP towards Team Revolution, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be one to watch out for a little later on. So we might have that early fight between the champions so far, but We've been waiting for this all along, Crips. This might be the moment that LVL Iconic takes that fight on a GenX force. You've been mentioning that GenX force have been sticking together like a four-man unit, right? That man advantage always paying dividends, especially when it comes to a game like Free Fire, where it's just utility and trades that go left, right, center. Being a man down, you'll be an extra man off the deck and could potentially utility out the drain. Although this is the start that the Italy. This is just the perfect start for how it's been going, where they've had that initial knock, they're able to reply in kind. It's a man trade essentially, and it might be a position where either team would not be afraid to call back and potentially call quits.
Yeah, dude, and there is a lot at stake on this battle because Team Revolution, Team OP, both of these are currently the teams that are dominating the overall leaderboard, right?
Yeah.
So this is basically a clash of the Titans. The clash to see which one of these teams can call themselves the Delhi Titans. And if one of these teams gets eliminated right here and now, it will shake up the entire leaderboard. So this is the most high impact fight that we will be seeing, at least for now. I mean, I'm assuming no other fights are going to break off anytime soon. But as I say that, Generation X, these guys are here to prove me wrong. Mysterious almost taking down Aladdin, but Aladdin puts up his chrono shield in the nick of time. He needs the backup of his teammates. Aladdin now to sit tower, and his teammate Angry is the one who is in trouble now because he's contact. They must take high ground. They must regroup together. Can be difficult, but Drag King has two angles from which he's exposed from. If he gets exposed even once more, he's probably gonna get downed. He won't have enough time to heal back up. But luckily for him, Generation X, the crossfire that they're going for right now is not very good.
Yeah.
Jack over here is in a very precarious position from where he can't back his teammates up, but at the same time he puts himself in way too much danger than necessary. I'm starting to feel a little scared for Generation X now.
Yeah, given Koshi's and Aladdin's position, Jack is potentially feasibly run at. Mind you, this is going to be the man disadvantage that GenX Force did get. Due to that early fight, the Chrono Shield dropped instant response with the glue wall, as now the retreat does come into the picture. Drag King, though, finds an amazing opener. This, mind you, is crucial, because not only were they a man down from the prior, but now it's essentially a 2 versus 4. They're split, and this might be how they're conquered. Jarvis, all eyes are going to be on him. The flash right in the nick of day, and it has blinded one player. And this is a sandwich setup. Look at Jack. He might be able to potentially open fire with every member of Iconic having their backs turned. It's all going to be on the distraction and the split. It might not work out. Jarvis, ooh, he's a little out in the open. Koshi had that opportunity at him, but covered it real quick. I'm not really sure if they play for points right now or did they cover each other's backs.
Hold on. Elsewhere in Refinery, Team Last Breath is trying to third party in the fight between Team OP and Team Revolution. So that's a three-way affair in Refinery right now. But for now, we're going to be watching on our screens LVL Iconic slaughter their opponents inside of Command Post. Generation X falling apart one by one. They tried to go for a sandwich approach. They tried to surround LVL Iconic from all the sides. But the meat in between the bread breaks open. And the bread is now minced meat, if you get the gist. They keep overextending one by one. And they keep getting picked off one by one. That is not the way to surround your enemies. That is not the way to go for a split approach.
Oh, for sure. And now we see the full effect, right, of how the verticality does play a massive impact in a map like Kalahari, where you have these snipers, you have Last Breath just showering Team OP with bullets. It's so hard to get cover and to move out of this position, and the nade is just pitch perfect. 𝐂𝐤𝐿 dunking a Kobe as it comes crashing down on Anish, leaving him in a very, very uncomfortable spot to bleed to death. At this point, I feel like you did not even call this one anymore. You just take that L, you back away for Team OP and potentially plays better to get better placements all across the day, because that's what's put them in the first runner. That's what put them in the first position after having a beautiful map 1 and map 2. If they're able to secure a decent position in map 3, that potentially could be more momentum going their way.
Yeah, definitely that's more momentum going their way, especially if you manage to pit Team Revolution and Team Last Spread together. Those are two very strong teams, both of whom have participated in FFIC before. You manage to get these two teams to fight each other, you're taking out 2 birds with 1 stone. And I'm sure that that's what Team OP would want to go for. Minimize risk, maximize damage by not even participating in fights, but just getting 2 teams to fight each other. Elsewhere, in sub, we have NMY Delhi now going up against D2U, that's Delhi to UK. There is a third team lurking around in the shadows as well towards the southern part of the sub, but I don't believe that these guys are going to be participating in the battle anytime soon. The UAV flying go ahead reveals the position of 2 teams. Luckily for them, the third team has not been revealed yet, nor do they have any information. All they can hear are a bunch of gunshots. They will be looking forward to third party in on this fight. They are looking for a good timing, but I believe Lord Raj is in a little bit of danger. There you go. Now we know which is the third team. It is going to be HP. They have the high ground, so yeah, Heartbreakers, really? Man, given the amount of height advantage they have, they might as well call themselves Headbreakers, because headshots can be connected very easily when you have the verticality advantage.
Yeah, and they have real good guns to follow suit as well. So the follow-up's going to be there. They essentially now need to be in a position where they do not get sandwiched upon. You know, having that verticality sure does help, but if you're not in that perfect position and there's a lot of teams having information about you, you could essentially be prey to potentially a stray nade, which has been the meta when it comes to the final few circles, especially given the last few months. And again, a lot of fights being broken out. If I'm not wrong, that surgical strike towards Refinery, fighting the main GenX force. Jack, GenX force so far, and then he's the only hope, which does end up blowing up to smithereens. A little new to Free Fire, do not worry. Not a huge fight happening between Surgical Strike and Illusion ES. This is just how verticality does play the picture. And again, we're reaching a point where rotations now are going to be the most impactful, right? This is where a lot of teams transition into potentially their final position. And this is where we see a lot of pickoffs happening as well in Kalahari Day. This is where a lot of action's going to go down, Crips, and a lot of it has to do with positioning.
Yeah, LVL Iconic, I don't like the fact that they're down in the open. Sure, they had to abandon their high ground, but I think they might just be moving in a bit too soon. Oh, wait. In fact, I think their timing might be perfect. If they are able to converge upon Hawkeye Esports right now and get them killed, that's going to be it. That's a very good job by LVL Iconic. They killed the last member of Hawkeye Esports. They now have this compound for themselves, and this might just be the best position in the circle so far. It's one of the only compounds that still has plenty of space that people can camp inside, which means they have a safe haven for themselves. Surgical Strike looking for a way inside the zone probably will not find any place to call home, and that could be a big problem for them because there are teams surrounding them from all the sides. Somewhere far away, we also have Delhi to UK, who just abandoned their fight in the sub and decided to go for the circle instead. But no! None of these teams have an advantage anymore. The circle moves away from both of them. This is now a lose-lose battle. LVL Iconic trying their best to get Surgical Strike out of the picture before they can proceed to the circle. And so far, they're doing a pretty good job of eliminating them. LVL Iconic still safe, 6 kills in the bag. They are holding off their opponents far away. One of them managed to get close, but yeah, I don't think that one person up close will be able to do much unless he cooks some really nice nades.
Draking aware gets the sound cue and gets the hell out of there. And this was the rotation you were a little anxious about, Crips, with Iconic going all the way to the low ground. But it has panned out. They've netted themselves, if I'm not wrong, 3 extra kills. So to add to the total tally of 6, now they need to potentially just think about positioning. Of course, there is still a little bit more in terms of rotations. They need to find a safe haven, potentially within this cliffside, unless they get completely sandwiched, if I'm not wrong, by DL to UK, who are firing their way back alongside a little cover fire coming in from on top, if I'm not wrong, from, I think that's Team Revolution on top of the refinery.
No, nobody's on top of the refinery, but Team Revolution might be on the cliff. Team Godlike, They're in the center of the circle. They might just have the best position right now, unless someone from Delhi to UK decides to waltz right into the middle of this with a vehicle and challenge them. They came in here with a monster truck, but can they be the monsters? I don't think so. They might just have driven to their own deaths. And Team Godlike, these guys are wiping the floor with them. They call dibs on this compound. They're not gonna let anyone up close. Team Revolution, who was on the high ground, now find themselves at the bottom of the scoreboard as they also get eliminated. But LVL Iconic, they're pinned against the wall. So far, they're doing a good job of keeping themselves alive. They just need the positioning points, but Godlike find an angle on them as well. And that's going to be the end of Angry. They're down to just one person right now, and that's DraKing, staying atop on that cliff. But the moment he falls down, it's going to be a big way down. There's no way he can get to safety. I think the Team Godlike might just have done enough. There's only 5 teams left, but there's 8 players, which means most of them belong to Team Godlike. The only problem that they will face is that everyone else is in different angles, so they must not overexpose themselves.
Exactly. They have the best positioning out of all the teams alive, and that tag should more or less be the bag. DraKing needs to be real careful as he does not have any teammates to watch his back. One hit and he's a dead man. Where he goes down. LVL Iconic with the 4th place finish should be decent considering the amount of kills that they did get. Now with the final circle, it is just a massacre. And again, that positioning advantage turning out tenfold in value. What an absolutely astounding game. Godlike Esports just won that purely based on that early rotate.
Purely based on that early rotate, and their zone prediction was on point. Anyone else who tried to contest their compound was kept far away. They basically set up a ring of fire, each person watching a direction and just raining lead upon anyone else who dares to get close. In fact, anyone else who tried to come close, be it in vehicles, be it in monster trucks, even they were shot down. So we have Team Godlike winning the game, but you guys can also win some cool stuff. Right now on our screen is flashing one UID of a lucky person who has just won himself a Delhi Titans jersey. So congratulations, whoever this UID belongs to. You will receive in-game mail about how to collect this jersey and about how you can claim your rewards.
Well, I mean, that quite frankly was a really good map of Kalahari, because not only did we get a chance to have the underdog up in there, which now is going to be in the form of Godlike Esports, we also have a really good ability to see how the day is going to be going forth, right? We have a nice start here for LVL Iconic, a 4th place finish. I think that's the best they could have asked for. That early rotate, like you did mention, to that low ground really did ensure they get as much kill points as possible. Placement seems to be a little good for Kalahari, but now they're going to rely on such consistent results and map 4, map 5, map 6 to see if they can ultimately be crowned the Delhi Titans.
Exactly. Like the first 2 games, I wouldn't say that there was a decisive advantage to any of the teams based on positioning. Basically, everyone was on an equal footing. Everyone was on the edge of the circles, with the circle center closing in on basically nothing. In Bermuda, it closed into the open ground next to Clock Tower. In Purgatory, it closed next to the river. No team had a decisive advantage. In Kalahari, though, Godlike had a big advantage, and it's clear as day that they were going to win. The moment the 5th circle popped, we figured out who the winner is going to be, and it was easy to predict them. The first 2 games were not as easily predictable. Now, this is a little break in the pattern. So far, the teams have been relying on just numbers advantage. Now, we saw a team rely on map awareness, prediction, and positioning. If this trend continues, if one of these teams is able to replicate this thing again and again and again, then they might just find themselves at the top of the table.
And this just makes for the best booyah action as well, right? Not only do you have so many teams who have the chance to have their take at the throne, but you also have a best of 6 series like this where you could have a new winner in essentially every map. So that just screams competitiveness. That just screams that every team out here, all the 12 teams that are going to be participating today, need to be at their tippy toes. There is just simply no wiggle room to work with. And at the end of the day, it just makes up for better and bigger action. And hey, it's just the start, right? It's just the start of the day. We've come to that midday point now. 3 maps done. We have 3 winners so far. Who do you think is still going to be the underdog Crips, because we got a good display from from Team Godlike, but there's still room open for potentially more underdogs to rule the day.
My money is gonna be on Level Iconic. These guys, they have not been having the best of games, you know, position-wise and map prediction-wise, but their firepower is through the roof. Their trade fracking is amazing. There's no way you can surround them or flank them. These guys are just too smart for that. So my money is gonna be on Level Iconic. When stuff goes south, when plans go out of the window, when things don't really go your way, at that point, firepower and trade fracking is all that matters, and I believe that's when Level Iconic might be able to make something work. Like, they had a great position all the way up until the 4th circle. It's only in the 5th one where they found themselves on the edge of the circle getting gatekept by Godlike, but that too because Godlike had more cover than anyone else. Even in that bad situation, even though they were on the edge of a cliff, quite literally, Level Iconic managed to stay alive and get into the top 5, which is a big deal.
And a small attention to detail here, if you do commit the rotation like Godlike did on Kalahari, you stand a chance of also being a little picked apart because they had 2 compounds to secure and 4 angles, right? So it essentially was a man looking towards one direction, and if he was down, there potentially could have been more cover loss, the backlines lost, a lot of X possibilities that could have been in place. It is really difficult to, again, replicate what Godlike has done here in Kalahari. It's all, again, down to that positioning, down to that wild card that's in the mix. And hey, a huge kudos to them. A real good display of skill here in Game 3. Cannot look forward to what we have ready in Game 4.
Yeah, Godlike might just have walked away with the booyah, but it's Level Iconic that have the maximum number of kills. They had a great position quite a lot, I mean, for quite a long time. Yeah, and we saw how well-timed the rotation was, and they have the most kills as well. And I believe at the end of the day, kill points will make a massive difference to where you end up. Level Iconic now find themselves in 2nd spot. Last Breath trailing behind them with just 2 points of difference between them. Even Last Breath is a great team that might just find themselves at the top of the leaderboard. So I believe at the end of the day, it is going to come down to Level Iconic and Last Breath. I mean, after all, these 2 teams are the most experienced teams that are participating in the Delhi finals. So let's take a look at where they are for now. Team OP and Revolution still on top, but Last Breath not far behind.
Yeah, not far behind whatsoever. Their placement points and kill points consistency has what's driven them to this 3rd place finish. And Godlike, again, with an influential Game 3, now they stand a good chance at getting a decent positioning in the leaderboards, right? At the end of the day, there's still 3 maps to go. Sure, there's a lot of deficit between Team OP and from the 3rd place and beyond, but there's a reason there's grueling formats there, and it is to grind out the best and the best of Free Fire. The MVP, I don't think any of us had this question in our mind. Team Godlike with an outstanding play and with an outstanding player as well in the form of Freck.
Yeah, Freck, this guy got 4 kills when his team had 6. So he had basically 66% of the kills that his team had. And it was a massive force to be reckoned with because I believe this was the person who was guarding every team who was coming along from the refinery side. So his firepower managed to keep almost every opponent at bay, even when they were assaulted with monster trucks. So kudos to Freck. I hope he keeps up this performance. And I hope you guys can keep cheering for your favorite teams as well. Keep in mind that in order to win the jersey, in order to win this contest, you guys need to type in chat hashtag FFCO Delhi Finals followed by your UID. That's how you participate in the giveaway, and that's how you can win a jersey which has Delhi written on it for yourselves. Of course, you will be notified if you win via in-game mail.
Yeah, for sure. Now we've gotten a good understanding of how things have transpired in Kalahari. If you had to make a prediction, what do you expect to see in Bermuda? Because it's, again, a map which is not as reliant as rotation and positioning as it is in Kalahari. But nonetheless, that's been the name of the game throughout the day. And I don't think that trend's going to change today, in fact.
I think most of the teams are going to go for a central positioning in Bermuda right from the start. Most of them will start accumulating near peak and surrounding areas, and that's where usually the circle goes. And I mean, the circle is a lot more predictable in Bermuda as it is in than it is in Kalahari. So that way, Bermuda, a lot of these teams might just start taking central positions, might go for rotations very, very early. If one of them gets picked off in the middle of rotation early on, then that's the end of them, right? It's either all or nothing. If you get picked off right at the start, well, then you're just straight out of luck. If you get to the center, you can at least get into the top 6. After that, there's no guarantee, because at that time, the circle is just so small that every team has like one player alive, and at the end of the day, it turns into a 1v1v1v1. So like that's basically what happened in game 1, right? There's no guarantee of placement points once you reach the top 6. Before top 6, maybe you can do something to secure yourselves.
Oh, for sure. And one thing that gives me a little bit of comfort when it comes to Bermuda is there's a shortage of open space. So even when you're going to be rotating, there's always going to be a decent bit of cover around you. Again, that's very dependent on which position you are in. But it opens up avenues for teams to try a little more ambitious rotations. It does give a chance for us, again, to see a little more action on the vehicles, which is something we didn't see across, I think, throughout the day. In fact, both map 1, 2, and 3, our standard rotation had not much vehicles involved in it. So that's something certainly going to be interesting to watch. Again, we've also seen a trend of a lot of long-range weaponry being the favored arsenal. So the vehicles blowing up is a huge issue as well. But we're gonna be going on towards beautiful Bermuda, and oh my God, Crips, if there is a possibility to have another team claim a booyah and have this as close as humanly possible, I think that's what I'm straight up going to be going for. I think that's what I'm going to be looking forward to, and hopefully an amazing map 4.
Map 4 is gonna be amazing indeed. We have Team Revolution going for the high ground, the high tier loot zone right at the beginning near Mill, and this sending 2 players into the high tier loot zone. They're sending 2 players towards Riverside, so that's a massive split from Team Revolution. They've definitely done their homework. There's nobody else even close to them, not even in nearby cities, to contest them. So these guys are gonna have pretty much the easiest rotation of all time. Even Team Generation, they're splitting up across Shipyard and Plantation. Now that's rare. Mostly, whenever the teams drop into the north, western sector of the map, they tend to stick together because there could be contestants in Bullseye, Graveyard, and stuff like that. Generation X have no contestants whatsoever. Most of the teams now going for places which are close to the center of the map, i.e. Peak, Pochinock, and Factory. You see, Team LVL Iconic in Peak, of course, they want to go for it. They are one of the highest ranked teams in the country, and they want to lay claim to Peak because they want the best position for themselves right at the start. The only teams who are brave enough to contest him are probably going to be Heartbreakers, who are now a little close to Kotatua and Pochinock. We have Team Godlike inside, just inside Pochinock right now, and Heartbreakers a little between them. Factory has Team IES, so that's there. NMY Delhi inside Clock Tower, Surgical Strike in Hangar, Hawkeye Esports and Observatory, and nobody in Mars Electric yet. Now that's surprising. Nobody in Mars Electric, Rimnam Village, nothing of that sort. Delhi to UK in Cape Town. 2 teams are heading towards Sentosa Island. Now, one of them is Last Breath, and the other one is going to be Heartbreakers. Okay, so Heartbreakers don't stick around in Kotatua. They go down towards the Sentosa Island.
Yeah, this could be one of those 2 fights that we do get to witness early on. And it's, again, going to be these battles that help these midfielders reach the top of the leaderboard, right? Having those kill points alongside potentially good placement points later on will make sure that you're in the best position to at least deliver a striking blow and contest for the win, if not a potential lead. For now, it's the retreat, and it is a fight between Heartbreakers and Last Breath. Last Breath are a little spread up, so they would like a good 15 to 30 seconds to set up for this fight. As we see, Heartbreakers are more than ready in position. I think they also have a little bit of information, considering that they did spot Adam, and this might be the bait that draws them in. Rotations going to be compensated for, and this early Sentosa fight is going to be in fruition. The push from Ankit as Kaushik holds the house. Oh, the shotgun up close is real good, but there is the trade. With the knock going to go down, it's going to be rotations from both sides committed inside the compound. And so far, it's not going so well for Last Breath as 3 members just instantly bite the dust. 𝐂𝐲𝐿 needs to be the man in charge here as he gets that first, recommits. Bullets might be a little bit of a problem when Nightmare is an absolute beast and recovers this entire fight for his team. Not only getting those last 2 frags, but ensuring that none of his teammates bites the dust. An absolutely flawless start here for Heartbreakers.
Last breath. What a chaotic fight. They had like, what, 3-4 chrono shields popped up inside that house?
Yeah.
You don't even know how to fight in them. I'm going to say that Heartbreakers got a little lucky over there, surviving their onslaught against a top-tier team like Last Breath. But hey, Last Breath are currently standing at 3rd place on the overall board.
Yeah.
Heartbreakers down in 8th place. With this, they might just have a chance to climb up. And with one of the strongest teams in the competition out of their way, they might get that mental boost that they have been looking for.
And mind you, this not only would be the mental boost that Heartbreakers are looking for, but the entire server would be a little pleased because it makes the remaining teams have that thought, right? Having it so much more easier to get the booyah now that Last Breath are out of the picture. So a start that we requested for, Crips, seeing another underdog potentially fight back. I'm interested to see how Heartbreakers progresses through this map for here in Bermuda. And again, LVL Iconic, they need to perform this map. I feel like this map's going to define how their day is going to go because they stand a chance to lay ahead of the midfield, and that's exactly what they're going to be looking for.
Oh, man. 𝐂𝐢𝐫𝐞 Esports. Shanti was the last guy standing for this team in the previous match. This time, he's the first guy dead. Ha. How the
Heartbreaks.
Yeah,
That's
it is indeed a
heartbreaker right
heartbreak.
there. He let out his last breath, but hey, it is what it is. And oh, this rotation being scouted out. Now, here's the thing. They are in a position where cover is present, but to rotate out of the cover is going to be pretty hard. Surprising that 𝐂𝐲𝐈 Esports did not want to take that fight, but hey, understandable as well, right? Being that man down, you don't really want to risk more risk in terms of numbers, especially if they could get better set up towards the later segment of the game. They'd be much happier with a more well thought out and strategical fight rather than potentially taking one from on top of the hangar.
But they have been spotted out, so it's not like they can run away from this one. They better fight this one. They have the high ground. They have better positioning. They are closer to the circle. Oh, wait, not anymore. Surgical strike splitting up. They've got one of their players who's already making their run to the circle. And with the amount of room that they have just cleared out, they can circle around 𝐂𝐲𝐈 Esports and get to the circle first, potentially even gatekeep them. I mean, yeah, given that it is the first circle, there are plenty of ways to get in and out of the hangar place. Yeah. But if you control the canals, if you get clock tower first, then you might get yourself in a good position, not just gatekeep 𝐂𝐲𝐈, but also anyone else who might be coming in from that western sector.
Yeah, and I like this duel that's being boiled in Pochinok at the moment. It's godlike along with LVL Iconic and, if I'm not mistaken, Team OP.
Oh, no.
Oh, Iconic. We've mentioned prior that this is a very crucial aspect to this matchup where if they did not perform in Bermuda, it might be a little too much of a steep hill for them to climb. And yeah, this revive. Oh no, they try to go for it. They try to go for the ambitious play. If only there was a glue wall or a chrono shield to accompany that, it could have been a possibility. But now they're potentially doubled down on their odds and they're all gonna go down the drain. LVL Iconic. Is this what you expected from potentially one of the best teams in the Delhi City Open? Oh, that is just hard.
Man, two of the top teams biting the dust this early on. Last Breath, LVL Iconic, both of these have been participating in the FFIC tournaments. Technically, they are the strongest teams in the server right now, but now they're just falling apart like a deck of cards. And Team OP, living up to their name. I wonder what's going to happen when these guys meet the Heartbreakers. And there is a good possibility that they meet Team Heartbreakers because they're on the edge of the island. And they will be the first team that Heartbreakers comes in contact with once they start crossing over towards the main island from Sentosa. Both these teams have eliminated top-tier teams. Last Breath and LVL Iconic, both of them biting the dust. That leaves the entire arena wide open for all these underdogs to step up and show us what they're made of.
Yeah, for sure. And ooh, that was a very, very well-placed nade there by Psycho. Ribbo, the revive is there. And mind you, it is... Oh, no. What? How? I think there's a wall bang, if I'm not mistaken, to take him down yet again. Oh, this is not the progress that you normally expect 𝐂𝐲𝐈 to, go in with. They were not only a man down, but I think they lost another man in rotation, hence making them 2 men down later. So, again, not the ideal situation, but this is the underdog derby, right? This is where it goes so wide open where anybody is going to be in a position to grab the throne.
Revolution now fighting up against Team Delhi to UK. Keep in mind that this is happening in Kota 2, very close to 𝐷𝐷𝐿. No other team is close to them, but any teams who are coming in from Sentosa Island might just try to third party in on these ones. Also, there is another team on top of the hill. I believe that is going to be the team inside of 𝐷𝐷𝐿. So maybe Delhi to UK going away from one fight, running into another one. Team OP is right around the corner. They might be trying to run away, from the team that they were fighting before, but they have no idea that they're walking into another trap. We have two very dangerous teams, Team Godlike and Team OP, both of them waiting over there. And I'm sure that they can hear the gunshots. Kota 2 to 𝐷𝐷𝐿, you can hear the fights from a mile away.
Yeah.
And this is just inviting the beast into your open ground. This is going to be very, very difficult. They've spotted out Delhi to UK. They know that they're at a man disadvantage, and they know that they can surround them and take them on right here, right now. Can Team Godlike push the envelope? Can Team Delhi to UK make an escape? They're trying to run away. All the glue walls being deployed, but they will shoot right through them. 𝐷𝐷𝐿 gets finished off. 𝐷𝐷𝐿 tries to go in and rescue him, but it won't be of any use. It's just him down to the last man. Delhi to UK on the verge of getting eliminated from this tournament. Not the tournament, but at least from this matchup. But somehow, Tista cocoons himself. I believe that was an unnecessary move. He got a little paranoid over there, but he had no idea that 𝐷𝐷𝐿 himself was more paranoid than he was. Now he finds himself trapped inside the double balcony house, but that was a self-nade? Are you kidding me? That's not... Renu gets eliminated as well? That's a blunder that Team got make right now. A self-nade followed by a flush.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we approach what could be what settles the dust here in Bermuda, NYM, they're split up a little bit. They are looking to regroup and gain some cover. Lord Raj is covering the back lines alongside Sid. But like you said, Crips, that man disadvantage, if it adds on to the tally, it becomes a huge problem, especially in this stage of the game where the fights are going to be so prominent and so up close and personal. Hell, we can see a lot of third parties as well, because we see that GenX Force have a lot of long range weaponry. This just opens the door so wide. 𝐷𝐷𝐿, a hot real estate for now, as we wait for this Bermuda Triangle to go ham. There's already a fight being hinged on by Team OP and 𝐷𝐷𝐿. 𝐷𝐷𝐿, the up and running. Now, it's essential being in a position where if they push, they're open to third parties, which they're holding on to dear life. They do not want to give up this massive, make sure that they get a good placement, as there are still 9 teams up and running in the server. This might just be the heartbreak for 𝐷𝐷𝐿 as he just cocoons himself into smithereens. Aye.
Team OP just feeding on the frenzy. They knew that 𝐷𝐷𝐿 had just eliminated one of the best teams in the server in Sentosa. They waited over there. They knew that they'd land up in that radar tower, and then they just surrounded them. Borrowed them with a bunch of nades, went in for the full thirst, and now Team OP find themselves in another great position. Wow, the circle moves right towards them. If I'm not wrong, every team in 𝐷𝐷𝐿 will now try to move towards the western border of the new circle. You know where that puts Team OP? In prime position. They have lines of sight over everyone. Nobody can escape them. And if Team OP have their sniping skills on point, they can feast on a bunch of frags. Even Team Revolution is trying to move out of their cover, which is good enough for now, but they're trying to go for a more centralized position on top of the hill, from where they will have a better line of sight. But Team OP started fighting upon Team Revolution, which is a good thing, right? Yeah. Team OP recognized that Team Revolution, not only a team which have a decent amount of points to contest them in the overall standings, but they also have a decent position right now. But I don't think this fight is going to bear fight. You can't go in for the thirsts. Team OP is just better off gatekeeping everyone else and trying to feed on the points that they will get. Team Surgical Strike, the Surgical Strike going around the edge of this cliff, hoping to avoid Team OP. but they end up running into Team Illusion, and this could be problematic. Illusion sitting on the bottom of the scoreboard right now with only 2 points in the bag. If they fall right now, this will be them basically running out of chances to get anywhere close to the top 6.
Yeah, exactly, Crips. Now with the crunch, it's essentially Illusion ES forced the fight. You can see that they won't really be in the best position if they go up the bridge. Hence, they have to hold the position, make sure their backlines are safe. It's not going that well so far as Illusion. They do lose that early man to Rahul. Team OP, 10 kills already in the bag, and 𝐂𝐤𝐿's looking to go for some more nades out in the hand. Illusion, they need to make sure they have a little bit of mobility down the bridge. Mind you, they are in a position where it's so easy to be sandwiched, where it's TRV, Team Revolution, completely cutting them short. This works out brilliantly in both the favor of Team OP and Team Revolution, as they not only get to bag themselves a couple of extra points in terms of kill points, but they also make sure that they have a lot of information as to the position of one another. This sandwich is not what Team OP was expecting, though. Luckily, there is a little cover for them to work with, and oh yeah, they finally break through that glue wall. 𝐷𝐻 gets a beautiful frag, and there shouldn't be any backup heading their way. Team Surgical Strike just want to disengage and try playing as safe as possible.
Yeah, there's no way Surgical Strike can get back into this circle. They basically can't kiss this game goodbye. Team OP find themselves in a great position where they are getting a lot of knocks, but their knocks keep getting stolen away from them. They're going to be so frustrated because they're dishing out a lot of damage, but they are not getting the credit for it. Everyone else just trying to vulture out these frags. Generation X, they've now spotted Team Namune. Yeah. They realize that Namune also have a decent enough position, not the best, but it's the only thing that they can work with right now, because there's no way they can go ahead and challenge Team OP. That's too dangerous of a task. They're just better off challenging Team Namune and trying to grab this compound that they have. If they're successful in it, they might just extend their lifeline by one circle. But now they're taking spot shots at Team Godlike, who are trying to move in. Godlike is at the edge of the zone too, so they will have to fight Team Sonata to get there, and I don't think Team OP have the range to fight.
Arc of the circle, though, a lot of fights are going to be in fruition. For now, we are going to be on GenX for Sid's position. And okay, this is a very hard position. That blue wall essentially blocks that exit, and now they're stuck inside the house. Another circle, and they potentially could be. They can't help each other out as well. They're so isolated, even despite being so close. Jarvis, he has that HP advantage. Could just jump in, finish the job, get right out there. Oh, the fight taken again. The circle will do a smart one. A lot of teams going down the drain. Illusion, yes, it's performing very well in Bermuda. Now bite all the way up to the top 6. Top Team OP all the way in the top. But if they move, they're exposed. They needed to maneuver a little safely. Team Revolution keeping their eyes on the prize, looking to punish Team OP as much as humanly possible. Front foot, where the last member of Surgical Strike looks to limp and be alive by his last foot. The rotation, though, being committed, as Team OP will not keep maneuver outside and get a decent position to potentially get the flank onto Team Revolution, or at least the distraction. 𝐷𝐻, he goes in to try and make a difference, but he's accounted for as unknown, finds the unknown threat and nullifies it, runs away at the glue walls, destroying the cover. 𝐂𝐤𝐿 right close to him, but he's gonna keep his eye on the prize and destroy this defense. Team Revolution completely knocked out of the park, ladies and gentlemen, as it's gonna be Team OP yet again. With the swing, they aim for the home run. Godlike Esports enters second, and this is the booyah that potentially might decide things. What an absolutely astounding game for Crips.
My goodness, Team OP found themselves in the best position, and I think gods just sat in the lap of Team OP. First, hard coming in from Sentosa. They tried to gatekeep everyone else. Ochinok, yeah, a lot of their frags were stolen away from them, but it doesn't matter. Eventually, everyone else had to come towards that radar tower, and Team OP had area for themselves. They made sure nobody else was able to get in there. They walked away with not just the Puya, but with 16 points. Do the math. That's like 28 points in a single game.
Yeah, and
That's
that gives
an
them
insane amount of points. Yeah.
Yeah, they've driven the max in terms of mileage they could out of map 4. They've gotten a lot of kill points to boast alongside their placement points. And hey, if you are enjoying the Delhi, if you are going to be enjoying this and you want to see who's going to be the Delhi Titan and truly get in the vibe, you can just have a nice day by spamming hashtag FFCO Delhi Finals and stand a chance to be in the giveaway for one of these beautiful Delhi Titan jerseys you do see on the bottom right. Looks pretty hot, Crips. Looks pretty nice.
I know, right? I want myself one of these. I wish I could get it though. Zcast is not allowed to wear the jerseys on camera. They're not allowed to support any teams either. So unfortunate, but I definitely want one of those. Either way, you guys can stand a chance to win this. Type hashtag FFCO Delhi Finals, and you can stand a chance to win one of these. Also, make sure you include your UIDs along with it. So the winner of one of these jerseys will be announced after this short break that we will be having, soon. Either way, let's take a look at the replay. And I'm pretty sure that Team OP is going to be dominating in most of the replay because they had so many frags. 16 kills. That's basically like them wiping out 4 squads.
Yeah. This early fight, though, it kind of allowed a lot of free air for some of these underdog teams to come through. Like you said, a lot of notable eliminations early on here. We did see a last breath take. In fact, the last breath on map 4. A less than ideal start, but hey, they still have a lot of grounds to recover what they've lost here in map 4. They obviously have 2 more maps headed into this, and I'm really excited to see how the finisher is going to be out of everything, Crips. With how we've seen rotations pan out to the absolute best today, with how we've seen the impact of these early fights, I think Kalahari is going to be an absolute spectacle that nobody should miss.
Yeah, Kalahari is in fact going to be one of those maps where the rotations might be a little harder. But it's so surprising that Team OP, this circle just kept moving towards them like a magnet. And I'm going to be honest, they did find themselves in a good position. But to defend that good position, when there's like 4 or 5 squads raining lead upon you, it's a very difficult task. So Team OP, they did not just win this game because they were lucky enough to have the circle move towards them. They fought for them, and Team OP definitely deserved the win over here. With a 28-point lead that they managed to get in this game, I believe that they're going to extend their lead even further. And at this point, they might just be out of reach of basically every other team.
I think this was also a very crucial part of this map, right? Where they were able to balance the fight between both the angles that really helped them get that extra bunch of kill points, being in that perfect position to gatekeep whoever's rotating in from under the river, and also stood a chance to rotate into the circle, which is what we saw them do to absolute perfection. This arc, though, in the final few circles was absolutely chaotic. I think we had, about 4 fights happening parallel to each other. A lot of chaos from which a lot of influential teams gained a lot of position. Again, a really good display from Team Revolution. Placing within the top 3 is certainly going to aid to their quest for being crowned Delhi Titans. Again, there's still 2 maps to go, right? It's still possible in the technical sense for them to make it back and have a chance at it against Team OP. But for now, as it stands, as the dust settles in map 4, it's going to be Team OP with not only a victory, but with quite the dominant lead now in the standings, as 28 points, like you said, Crips, does make a huge difference. Even close, the only person closer is Team Revolution, which is 15 points. So they almost have double of the runner-up.
Yeah, and keep in mind that Team OP had many of their kills stolen, which means these 16 kills, they are just a little bit lower than the amount of damage that they have actually dished out. Imagine if they got those 2 kills that weren't stolen away from them. They would have touched the 30-point mark, literally double the amount of points that Team Revolution have. And with this one, I think that they might just have, put themselves in a lead where nobody else can catch up. Unless, of course, Team OP gets eliminated very early on and Team Revolution has a field day. I don't think anybody can catch up to them.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard, Crips. It's going to be pretty hard, but doable nonetheless. There's still 2 maps ahead of us, and there still stands a chance. Of course, it's going to be both Purgatory Day and Kalahari Day ahead of us, right? So both maps, again, reliant on rotation. We've seen that on map 1 and map 2, where anybody who has that good call could be ultimately the one claiming the booyah. So that's what we need to look out for here. Again, LVL Iconic, they didn't really have the best start here in map 4. So I'm really interested to see how their adaptation in map 5 and map 6 is. They still stand a good chance to place really good. And let's quickly look at the current standings, because at the end of the day, it's going to be the current standings that's going to completely decide who's the winner and who's the loser of the day, right? So Team OP, like you said, far ahead of the competition. Revolution, a good about 30 points behind, a good 22 points behind. Godlike Esports, a little away when it comes to the grander scheme of things. I feel like it's only Team Revolution that even stands close to having a dent on what Team OP has done today.
Yeah, nobody else can catch up to them. Last Breath might just be in the running for one of the top teams, but given that they had a really bad game this time, it's going to be very difficult for any of these top teams. I would have expected Last Breath and LVL Iconic to be the teams who qualify from this one, but oh my goodness, look at the amount of damage he's dished out. 3,500 damage by just one single player? Yeah, that's ridiculous. 7 kills for him. This guy alone has more kills than some entire teams out there. And 3,500 is not the kind of damage you would expect from a guy who has 7 kills. The amount of damage he's dished out, he could have killed like double the amount of players in this one.
Yeah, I like his player pick as well, really shows the muscles that he uses to carry his way through this very, very intense game. And the current standings again, Team OP, a really, really nice start. But like I said, the day's not over. I'm really interested to see how this midfield is going to progress. LVL Iconic, Surgical Strike, Last Breath, and Godlike Esports look to be neck to neck. There's still margin to get ahead of the competition, and that's exactly what we're going to be seeing in the final 2 games. But Team Revolution are going to be still in it to win it.
Yeah, Team Revolution are still in it to win it. They need to put the pedal to the metal, and also they need to start actively targeting Team OP right now, because that's the only way they catch up. If both these teams keep on performing well, it's going to be a no-sum game with Team OP walking away with the lead. They need to actively start targeting Team OP and try to take them down very early on in the game, because they don't just need points themselves to get ahead of them. They need to stop Team OP from getting points as well. And with both the teams able to find high ground, able to find good positions, and able to predict the circle really well, it really will boil down to individual heroics at the end of the day. That's what will matter, because both the teams have equal amount of zone prediction that goes, in their favor. And in a map like Purgatory, zone prediction is going to be even more important, because the rotations across the rivers can be a little difficult to navigate. Let's see where this game takes us.
Oh, for sure, Crips. It's going to be an amazing day ahead of us. And I just hope that we get to have a lot more action. Of course, it's 2 maps left to go, and we'll be right back after a short break. Again, very intense action. It's going to be Game 5 and Game 6 ahead of you, ladies and gentlemen. Grab some popcorn, grab something to relax with, lay back, and enjoy the day ahead of you. We'll be right back after a break.
बेस्ट मेमोरेबल मोमेंट तो यही है, FFCO में क्वालिफाई हो चुके हैं हम।
सपोर्ट की बात है, कोई भी प्लेयर अपने फैमिली सपोर्ट के बिना आगे जा नहीं सकता,
लेकिन स्पेशली मेरा मम्मी, उन्होंने मेरे को बहुत सपोर्ट किया है।
एक बड़ा टूर्नामेंट जीतना है, कोई बस एक बार नाम करना है।
एक गिल्ड लीडर है देवभाई, वो वही मेरे को इंस्पायर किए थे स्पोर्ट्स आने के लिए।
मेरे सारे ही इस टीम में है, ये सभी बहुत सपोर्टिव रहे हैं।
गोल यही है, वर्ल्ड सीरीज चैंपियन रहे, इंडिया रिप्रेजेंट करनी है।
We will be representing India in World Series, that's for sure.
मैं यहाँ पर ये ट्राई करूँगा कि मैं अपनी टीम को सबसे ऊंचे स्थान तक लेकर जा सकूँ।
सबसे अच्छी बात ये है कि मेरी टीम नहीं है, मेरे लिए फैमिली मेंबर जैसे ही।
मोटिवेट तो फ्रेंड्स ही करते हैं, उनके साथ गेम खेलते हैं।
मैं यही आशा करूंगा कि हमारी टीम जो है स्पोर्ट खेल के बहुत आगे जाए।
स्वागत है आपका FFCO टुनाइट में। मेरा नाम है रंजीत मामा सीने पटेल और मेरे साथ आज जुड़ रहे मेरे को-होस्ट और एनालिस्ट आरुष एबी भारद्वाज। आरुष, हाउ यू डूइंग?
थैंक यू सो मच फॉर हैविंग मी माम्बा एंड यस FFCO के लिए मैं बहुत ज़्यादा थ्रिल्ड हूँ। 3 मंथ्स का हाईली ऑक्टेन यहाँ पे टूर्नामेंट मैचेस होने वाले हैं, बट स्टार्ट होने के पहले जो भी लोग नहीं जानते ये टर्म फ्री फायर सिटी ओपन, हम लोगों ने आपके लिए एक छोटा सा ट्रेलर बनाया। लेट्स हैव अ क्विक लुक।
Welcome back to Free Fire City Open, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Delhi Finals. We are here to find out which one of these teams can call themselves the Delhi Titans in the Grand Finals. One of these teams will make their way directly. The other top 3 teams will make their way to the play-ins. And so far, it looks like Team Away is walking away with the title. I'm sorry, Team OP is walking away with the title.
And this is the team that I was talking about during the first segment for the day. They already have the top in the name, Team OP, TOP. That is what they have mini-named themselves, and they are definitely table-topping themselves flawlessly with the only team which successfully reached for the score of 80s at and the buffer points is also worth of 22 points. And for the better nation, let's go ahead with the map recap.
Yeah, let's take a look at what's been happening so far. Team OP, the only team to walk away with 2 booyahs so far. One of them on Purgatory, the other one in Bermuda. We have Purgatory coming up next. Do you think that they might be able to go for a hat-trick?
Oh, that has always been an important question with you and me, Crips, because we've always seen the teams who have already taken 2 booyah, and yep, I definitely tend to give a little bit of pressure to the teams who have already acquired 2 for the hat trick coming up on the way. Maybe not, because yes, they have taken one of the booyahs in Purgatory. That already indicates that they stand a good chance, because when you have mastered one map accurately, you tend to continue it. And Team OP is one of the team, even though during round 1 of Bermuda, Team OP could not acquire. It was Niku who was able to procure as many kills for his teammates. And once again, for the just a match before, which was Bermuda, once again, where we saw Niku was also the MVP of the match. So the expectations from Team OP is going to be way more higher. And to be honest, I don't think if there is any question as of now that are they going to be consistent? Certainly, they are consistent enough.
Yeah, but you know what else is really important? One of these lucky winners is going to get themselves a Delhi Titans jersey. The person who does win this jersey, his UID is flashing on the screen. So congratulations, random Free Fire lover. You guys will be getting whatever information that you need via in-game mail. You know, that will tell you how you can claim this jersey, how you can get it for yourself. And remember that in order to participate in this contest, you need to use the hashtag FFCO Delhi Finals followed by your UID. Type it down in the chat and share it with us. Maybe you will get one of these jerseys.
Definitely, congratulations for winning the jersey of Delhi Titans, wherever you are from, whatever you are doing, but so have a memory for yourself for such a new event coming up, emerging event coming up, FFCO, and we are already on the stage of grand finals. And I think the justice is coming up for the players. This event was particularly to get some new talent, and successfully Team OP, being a new talent, are able to prove themselves, are having a platform to exactly show what they possess, and are successfully proving their worth. So yeah, they might get the name of Delhi Titans, but still, with 2 matches being away, they still do have a luxury to get eliminated early on. But I don't think when they are into a position where they're already very solidified, they're going to let lose any single chance at all.
Oh, yeah. They need to make sure that they just don't have bad games right now. Even if they don't have good games, it's fine. Even if they stay in the midfield, it's going to be okay. They just need to make sure that they stay out of the bottom 4 teams, because that will be a real loss of points, and they really can't afford to take that hit right now. Team Revolution is hot on their heels. Let's see if Team OP is able to take their lead. They've already won the first Purgatory game of the day. We're going to jump into Purgatory once again. And do we have a hat-trick on our hands? Do we have an upset on our hands? We will find out, ladies and gentlemen, as the plane has taken off and the players are ready to jump to their locations.
Yeah, definitely. We are going to get to see a flight path real soon. And where does the team drop out? Because first 3 have been the knowledge gaining matches there where you realize where the op landing, where the players are landing, how are the rotations. But now certainly you're already aware first segment is already down, and for the second purgatory, look at the flight path exactly through the dead center, going from right to left, and over here we are able to see 𝐂𝐤𝐲 totally owned by one of the team which is going to be godlike. Alongside we are seeing two teams who might pick up a battle real soon into the forge, and those teams are going to be LVL Iconic alongside the it's a surgical strike who is sharing the ground, but time long compared to what it was into the previous matches. I'm seeing only two teams standing for.
Yeah, that's a rare sight. Regardless, Delhi are going to be very happy about this. Namune in the downtown area, Delhi to UK in the above northern part of Brasilia. We have Team Revolution going to its central, uncontested. They're going to be pretty happy as well because they will have all the loot necessary that they need to take on Team OP. Where is Team OP? They're still going to the south of campsite. And I believe they will try to take a zip line towards Fire Brigade or something. But before we do any of that, we already have a fight breaking out. And first blood goes in the favor of LVL Iconic. They wipe out SRG Style Lord. So Team Surgical Strike is in a little bit of trouble right now. They are in the moat house, surrounded by crocodiles with big labels called LVL Iconic on them. Can they make their way back to safety?
Let's see, are they going to be safe or no? But certainly, yes, they are already less in numbers, and godlikes are being spotted. Already attack god Tista is ready as well to deliver as much damage as possible to Team GenX. Force Tista spotted, taken down, and firing from the open area. This is what you have to pay for. This is the price when you try to attack from an entire open hilly area. But talking about NMY Delhi Esports, they are all set, all good, getting the best of loots from Brasilia through the vending machines as well. And vending machine is the easier way to collect as many grenades as possible. And godlike losing Tista as a trio, being less in numbers. Are they going for the passive approach? But certainly I don't think the players, the opponents, the Generation X would want them to run so easily, so flawlessly. They are giving some good shots, good connections as well. Is he delivering damage? All they need to do is just heal up as early, because 3 is still a team. You can still battle it out even further if the numbers are not reduced. So let's see what are their plans from henceforth.
Mysterious going for a long flank. If he dies right now, none of his teammates can save him. So he's kind of on a risky mission. I think Reno might have spotted him out. If Reno spots him out, then there's no saving him. Yep, Mysterious taking way too much damage. There's nobody to save him. Needs to heal. Needs to just stay alive for as long as possible right now, because everyone in Godlike is now focusing their attention on him. This is the time that Jarvis and Jack need to step up. If they're able to save their teammate right now, it would be a flank that's worth it, but I don't believe that's going to be possible. Yeah, Mysterious is going to die a very painful and lonely death. Nobody will be able to trade him out. Well, at least this brings the situation back to a 3v3. Can they exact revenge for what they had did to him? Renu now trying to take pot shots onto Freak, and Freak has just been down. Jack is the one who writes his name in the death note. And keep in mind that Freak was one of the MVPs of the previous game. Now that the star player is down, what can Team Godlike do? Renu exact revenge, but here comes Jack with a second kill. Renu is just down to himself now. 1v3.
All the responsibility being shouldered by one solo player, and his approach has to go passive. If he tries to go even more attacking, I think we might see to see an early elimination of the godlike, but I think he does escape from the 3 members right now. But at current situation, it is going to be Delhi to UK, and they are totally within one small compound, stacking it themselves. And no, Viper has got a change of mind, doesn't want to stack in one single compound where one grenade can deal ample lot of damage, and it is Mafia with the farmers who is able to deliver enough damage to Renu, and Godlike was not saved. It is Jack who eliminates thoroughly Team Godlike. So within 5 minutes, we see an early elimination of a team where they did not even get a chance to get a choice of weapon, a perfect loot.
Yikes! That's a big F for them. Let's see if the other teams also suffer a similar fate, because Team Namune could be in a little bit of danger right now. They're trying to pick up a fight against Delhi to UK, which could be an unnecessary engagement. They're trying to push up the road, crossing it, and all of the players of Delhi to UK are huddling up inside one house. They forced out most of the Chrono Shields, and we know that now the Chrono Shields have an awfully long cooldown. Team OP is somewhere in the background as well. So if Team OP can stay over here and take pot shots on Delhi to UK, this might just enable one of the closer teams to get a better position. Namune realize there is a third team. They must enter this fight right now, finish it off as soon as possible, and don't drag it for too long. If this fight goes on for too long, Team OP might just vulture this one and grab way more kill points than they were supposed to. Namune now capturing the ground floor. Need to breach the floor above, but they need utility for it, and they are lacking everything. Barely any glue walls, barely any grenades. Is this even a fight worth taking right now, especially when one of the most strongest teams in the tournament, Team OP, lurking in the background? Do you really want to commit to this? Or are they going to call a ceasefire? Yep, they call the ceasefire. Team Namune are backing off. But will they be allowed to back off, though? Delhi to UK, having the higher advantage, might just be able to shoot them down as they are retreating, but Namune have a good line of sight being blocked by that house. And they're going for the other house. They're circling around them. What are they even planning to do? Are they trying to get Team OP to fight Delhi to UK? They might just be successful in doing so if they manage to get to the edge of Brasilia and start taking pot shots, because this is a flank that Delhi to UK are not aware of. I don't think even Team OP is aware about this. They might just have pulled off the masterstroke. They avoided a good fight, which they had definitely no business winning. It was completely unnecessary, and there's no reason for them to go for such a risky maneuver right now. I appreciate this.
And definitely going back foot for the longest survival is a part and parcel of Battle Royale, and using 200 IQ, realizing with the matter of fact, one small compound, upper ground and lower ground being shared for a moment. Grenades are also on the verge of exchanging, but ultimately the damage was not delivered. They disengaged thoroughly from the fight, and not only one team, second team as well, which is Delhi to UK, who did not want to engage into any sort of fight, because now survival is also key to acquire some strong points, because ultimately even if one team is getting the title of Delhi Titans, other three teams are still standing a chance to go through the plains. Yes, plains is difficult part, but yet you still do get a second chance. And talking about current situation, it is going to be 𝐂𝐤𝐫𝐞 Esports Open in the hilly area. There's always element of risk. So with the advantage of height and the open area, they are trying to spot one of the player teams indeed, which is going to be Heartbreaker Nightmare being spotted, delivering some damage, bearing some damage, going back for using the inhaler, and once again setting yourself for the fight. Treatment gun used by Psycho right now, healed up 100%. All four players are still ready, still set, and Brasilia is just below them. And from here, they can definitely engage in the fight. Once you start to realize that you're getting counter attack, all you got to do is just go back foot, heal yourself up, and you are ready. And that is the typical advantage of height, which usually on the Brasilia mountain people are definitely using.
The height advantage could be crucial over here, and that's exactly what 𝐂𝐤𝐫𝐞 Esports is trying to capitalize on. They've got the heaven compound under their control. They could hear gunshots in Brasilia just a second ago, but now they're not spotting anyone. But keep in mind that because 𝐂𝐤𝐫𝐞 Esports have the heaven compound and they're going for control of this compound right now, they also are in a little bit of danger. We have seen throughout the times, throughout every tournament of Free Fire India, that any team that tries to contest the heaven compound too early usually ends up paying the price, and the price is paid in their own lives, right? So trying to compound heaven compound way too early can be very risky. 𝐂𝐤𝐫𝐞 Esports going for it. It's good enough for now, but you can see how spread out they are. They're trying to keep an eye on every direction so that they don't get, third-partied. Meanwhile, let's take a look at what LVL Iconic is doing. They're tanking the zone damage near Moat House in a bid to do what? In a bid to gatekeep one of the other teams? They're too spread out to do that. I think they should just disengage and start moving towards the next circle. First circle is fine. You can tank the damage, but you wouldn't want to use too many medkits and resources in a bid to do that.
Absolutely, you wouldn't want to, but for now we have the current standings right now. Team OP still with the being on top one, being the Team OP with 80 points, followed by Team Revolution 58, and with followed by sharing the scores with the difference of only one single point, but these single points are also going to matter much. NMY going away from Brasilia, once again moving in. Their rotations are on point for now to avoid any battles possible, but I think it is time where they will no more want to avoid any battles, and they are able to deliver damage to 𝐂𝐤𝐫𝐞 Esports. And how is Lord Raj planning to go? He's flanking in through the right. Rudra with the AK in his hand is trying to give some cover fire. They also have the advantage of circle now. NMY could not successfully gatekeep. Ultimately, the players are rotating. They are able to enter the circle, and it is going to be Kunal Jr. with the sight in his hand, who's trying to exactly pre-predict through which angle would he rush in to procure as many kills or as many knocks as possible. And now Kunal Jr. also cooking up some grenade. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a grenade that might connect as of now. And talking about 𝐂𝐤𝐫𝐞 Esports, they're possessing M249, a perfect gun to give a pleasant spray, to get a pleasant knocks. And is it going to be a pleasant battle enough for 𝐂𝐤𝐫𝐞 Esports, or is it going to be Sid who is going to give some good grenades? Oh, he did give a good grenade. Rudra was tanking up a little bit of damage. It was not sufficient enough to get the knock, and now he tastes the same medicine. He is knocked out by the grenade and also eliminated.
Team NMY already losing a player. This could be disastrous for them. They need to find a way to come back into this game or disengage right the hell now. 𝐂𝐤𝐫𝐞 Esports pushing the envelope. Kunal Jr. gets a knock on Shanti. This could equalize things. He thirsts him as well. Good stuff, turning it into a 3v3, but 𝐂𝐤𝐿 comes in with the revenge. Rudra gets traded out right off the bat, and Ripu responds in kind. It's just down to Lord Raj. Maybe 𝐂𝐤𝐫𝐞 Esports can get away with this fight, unless Lord Raj manages to isolate these gunfights. Gets one knock. He needs to confirm this kill as well, and he's done that. Good stuff. He realizes where the other person is, but he runs right through the house, going right behind them. 𝐂𝐤𝐫𝐞 Esports have no idea where he is. They're trying to go for the revive right in the middle of the field, but they have no idea that they're getting surrounded. Finally, NMY Delhi get dealt with, but the danger isn't dealt with yet. There's another fight done. Yeah, this is Team Revolution going up against Last Breath. Two of the strongest teams in Revolution are falling like a pack of cards, but none of them get thirsted. Black Tiger with double kills with the double sniper setup. What a man, saving his team from certain elimination. But two big fights just concluded right now. And I'm actually happy that 𝐂𝐤𝐫𝐞 Esports managed to make that rotation early on, because they just managed to deal with NMY Delhi. If they delayed this rotation, they would have had to deal with many more teams. They got this over with. It's like ripping off a band-aid. You take a little bit of pain temporarily, but it's going to help you out in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. It is going to help them in the long run. LVL also pushing in with the best of the speeds possible to enter the circle to avoid any zone damage. And they have acquired one kill as of now. And also now only 9 teams are remaining. And the circle is going to take a shift. It is into which direction? And it goes into the Western Island and a little bit of mainland. Let's see how the rotations are going to be. And this is definitely making it even more interesting for Heartbreakers. They can acquire the best of sounds possible. And what a brutal zone shift, where I thought personally that Brasilia might be in, but certainly it is not. And if you also look at other teams who are having the advantage of the circle, it is going to be Team Revolution for sure, with them Illusion Esports also being within the circle. And I see certain rotation through the water routes coming in from Team OP. And let's see which riverbank side are they going to hold on to. And before that, the fight is already on. Illusion Esports picking up a battle, and these teams are within the zone. They don't have anything that they have to force upon. They could have easily disengaged from here, but I don't think from here only one of the team is going to survive. A strong push coming in. Ankit getting spot taken down with the shotgun in his hand. Janu is definitely trying to break as many glue walls as possible, and the revival process is being delayed. And here comes Team OP. They are able to acquire kills. Maybe this is the time where they should be pushing in to acquire, once again being able to get the highest frag count. Heartbreakers with total of 2 kills coming in from Ansh. One of the player is already taken down. Talking about Rishabh, once again he's the first fragger for his team. Janu spotted, given a lot of damage, not sufficient enough to confirm the knock for now.
Oh my goodness, Team OP wiping the floor with them. Heartbreakers are about to have their heads broken, and they get eliminated in a matter of seconds. Team OP, I think they might have used surfboards to get over there. One of the players used the zip line after one of them crossed over, and then they secured the landing zone of the zip line. That's how they were able to get in there. What a brutal shift, but Team OP managed to make it happen nonetheless. I thought that maybe this would be one of those games where Team Revolution are able to take advantage of the circle that they have just been granted, because they were on the Western Island before and Team OP wasn't. But Team OP still managing to cross the river without any problems, without without Team Revolution capitalizing on it, this just equalized the playing field yet again. That's where we have Team LVL Iconic now picking up a fight against Delhi to UK, and they will not be able to go any further. Their trip's been cancelled. They go home.
Definitely, they do go home. And now entering the circle is going to be way more difficult when Team OP is definitely going to gatekeep as many players as possible. 𝐂𝐲𝐿VL Esports confirming the 5th kill for the team, and now on the verge of eliminating Surgical Strike, and 𝐅𝐢𝐬𝐺𝐻 was successfully able to eliminate with only 4 teams and 11 players. Team Revolution with 5 kills and on the edge of the circle are taking the cover of the ridge, which is the best they can do. They're also able to spot some enemies, and those enemies are none other than Team OP, the team that they would definitely want to get shattered, want to get eliminated and get downshift. But I don't think Team OP is ready to stumble down even for a small inch. 𝐅𝐢𝐬𝐺𝐻 is being spotted by Team Revolution, and the sniper shots comes in. How long can he survive though with only the cover of a tree? Even if he tries to move an inch, he is going to get exposed, he's going to get eliminated, and Delhi to UK might get eliminated anytime sooner. But at this point of time, 𝐅𝐢𝐬𝐺𝐻 doesn't even possess any health kit to work out with, and Black Tiger has a lot to work out with the double sniper skills. He's able to deliver so much of damage, but the center of the circle is definitely giving some good advantage to Team OP.
I have no idea why Team Revolution are trying to get the kills onto Delhi to UK. It doesn't really matter to them in the long run. They should be focusing on Team OP, who have the center of the circle right now. They need to fight. They need to fight this team. That's the only team that can stop them from getting the booyah. And Team OP realized they have a massive advantage. They're now focusing on Team Revolution. The players getting pressured by the zone, trying to get outside, but they won't have any place left to stand. They're going to have to rely on their glue walls, but even that won't help them because 𝐂𝐤𝐿 has the height advantage. If they can get the kill onto 𝐂𝐤𝐿, maybe they secure themselves a little bit of ground to work with, but 𝐂𝐤𝐿 keeping himself alive. He doesn't even care about getting frags right now. He just wants to use himself as bait so that he can knock them out, but no! He knocks him out himself! What a wonderful nade! A double kill for him, goes in for the flush, and that's an ace clutch for 𝐂𝐤𝐿, single-handedly wiping out the entire squad.
Definitely, it was a beautiful squad kill coming up, squad wipe coming in, and once again Team OP has successfully entered the double-digit clip, and 𝐂𝐲𝐿VL Esports getting eliminated and back-to-back booyah. And indeed, it is a hat-trick, Crips. That is what you're talking about. Is Team OP going to go with a hat-trick? They are able to, and not only they are able to, they are excellencing every single time that they procure booyah, this time without losing a single player, and also mastering the circle prediction and on-point rotation. They are giving it all to acquire what they are. They deserve to be number 1.
Man, Team Revolution dropped the ball so hard over here. This was their only chance of catching up with Team OP. Keep in mind, Team OP was still inside Brasilia. They were nowhere close to the next island. Team Revolution were on the Western Island. What they could have done is gate-kept Team OP, but they did not do that. Instead, they were focusing so much on Delhi to UK, Team OP basically waltzed into the zone and nobody even tried to stop them. One of the players used the surfboard to cross the river, secured the landing zone of the zipline, and then the other players ziplined across. As a result, Team OP get inside the circle without taking any casualties. Nobody tried to cut them off in the middle of the rotate. And I thought maybe Team Revolution can win this because they were naturally granted the zone advantage, but they let it go. They let go of the advantage. Team OP, they never had the advantage, but they grabbed it with both hands simply because Team Revolution did not step up to the task. If Team OP wins the tournament right now, I wouldn't even be surprised because Team Revolution can do absolutely nothing to stop them. This was a God-gifted opportunity and Revolution let go of it.
Yeah, definitely. Revolution was focusing more on the last man standing from Delhi to UK, where they were trying to spot out a player outside the circle, which I don't know why, but yeah, they were trying to get as many kill points as possible. That delayed the entry, and the delay of the entry, they were punished for the same from Team OP, and they have successfully been eliminating every single team. Even when they are going for the third-party attack, they're successfully able to procure some extra kills, and that is how they are the highest fragger. That is how they are able to procure as many booyahs as possible. But now the question is, are they going for the quadra Crips? Because together we have been casting since so long, and we have seen the quadras coming in, and we really don't know if who has the potential to procure one. But at this point of time, I'm also feeling Team Revolution has the potential. Maybe next time they go for the 200%, 300% play, where they are able to solidify the spot in at least position 2, 3, or 4.
I mean, I do agree that there could be a quadra. I mean, we've seen hat tricks before, but the only time I've seen a quadra is in the World Series when Phoenix Force was able to grab it. That's the only time I've seen a quadra. Maybe Team OP over here can replicate that level of performance, but I don't think Revolution can step up to them anymore. I mean, this was the only game where Revolution had the chance to specifically target Team OP, but absolutely nothing to do it. I don't think they will be able to live up in the next game. In fact, even if Revolution are able to eliminate Team OP in the next game, it won't matter. They are ahead. They have too big of a lead right now. I don't think Team OP can be dethroned. They probably have the tournament in the bag already. All they need to make sure is eliminated way too early. Like, even if they get into the top 8, it should be fine in the
They have earned the luxury to get eliminated on the position 12 as well, Crips, because they have got the lead of 22 points. Any team who is procuring Booyah with certain amount of kills, like 10 for say, so maybe they are still into the competition, but they are out of the competition stage. It is all good to go for them as of now. But talking about this particular match, early battle was picked up between two teams. Godlikes versus them was GenX Force over here. The frags were being exchanged, the knocks were being exchanged. Ultimately, we did see only one man who was going to be Reno, who survives this battle, tries to run away, tries to race out of this battle, but was not able to do so. They were with opponents were very sure of. They wanted every single kill confirmed for themselves. And who wouldn't want to procure a single point when you very well know the opponent has completely a lesser strength? And having that knowledge, that is where you have to pick the maximum of advantage, and that is what Team Gen X Force did.
Gen X Force. I like the initiative that they took, but I don't like the way they followed up on it. I kind of like the way Hawkeye Esports managed to make this move very early on, like rotating from the Heaven compound to the Brasilia, compounds down below. Can be very difficult, especially when there is a team fighting you. But they decided it's better to fight right now when there's only Team Namune rather than waiting when there will be multiple other teams who are looking to gatekeep them. And also, Lord Raj, he did so many things to save his team from getting eliminated, and he managed to juke the hell out of Hawkeye Esports. He was going left, right, center, running right in between them, and they never realized where he was. But unfortunately, that 1v3 was just too tall of a task for him. Team Revolution over here, like, take a look at this. They survived a battle against Last Breath, which is a big feat in itself, which is a great thing. But after that, they dropped the ball on Team OP, which is, yeah, kind of embarrassing.
And Team OP picking up as many kills as possible, and we have always seen Team OP picking up kill after 15th minute for the match, and this is what that happened into the last few minutes of the match. They initiate picking up the kills, they initiate picking up the points, and flawlessly picking up teams one by one. And Iconic over here was struggling enough into the blue circle, entering the zone was next to impossible. But then we also saw Hawkeye Esports on the other island being completely on the mainland over here, was trying to confirm some kills, and yes, successfully were able to pick some kills. And Team Revolution messed up somewhere here around where they were going ahead for one of the kills right now, and Team Revolution with only 2 players remaining. And look at Team OP, they were able to also revive the teammate Ansh, who was down. They wanted to get a procure a Booyah with a full squad. One grenade goes in from Niku, 2 players taken down, and Niku was realizing that all I have to do is just go in and get the perfect squad wipe, and the remaining was done by Ansh. Hawkeye Esports were already ready, and it was Rebo whom Ansh spots in and also eliminates him. With that, we're also going to have game standings, and Team OP, they did take away the Booyah and total of 24 points. That means that in total standings, they have crossed the marker of a century.
Oh man, they've crossed a century right now? Damn, that's brilliant. We'll take a look at that when the overall standings show up. But once again, this is Team OP getting way more points than anybody else. 12 placement points, 12 kill points. That's amazing for them right now. They are very much on the top of the lead. And now we'll move on to the current standings. Let's take a look at that big triple-digit number. 4 points. Congratulations to Team OP. I think they've already won the tournament. Team Revolution can test them, but it's too tall of a task. Like, they need, what, at least 32 points in a single game to overtake Team OP? And that's assuming Team OP don't get any points in this game. So yeah, even if Team OP die at the very start right now, I don't think Team Revolution can catch up. And look at the difference between these two teams, right? OP, 104. Revolution, 72 points. Everyone else down to 45.
Yep, and we can see from position 3 until position somewhere around 8, we are seeing 45 to 30, that is 15 points of a buffer points. But if we look beyond that, the teams are still into the series of 20s, which is not even 25% of what Team OP is doing. And let's guess, is it going to be 𝐂𝐤 MVP once again? Because it is time that we
For
have to
sure.
declare the MVP for this match, and it is not going to be 𝐂𝐤, it is going to be Rahul. 99 with total of 4 kills and 977 worth of a damage. The damage point is a little less compared to what the kills shows up, but definitely there was always a team support when you are the highest fragger for your team.
Yeah, I really have to appreciate what Rahul did there for his team, but 𝐂𝐤 getting that grenade was just a cherry on top of the cake. Like, it wasn't even his job to go in for the kills. He was just supposed to stay there so that Team Revolution cannot get to the high ground, so that they stay sandwiched on the low ground and his team can dish out all the damage. So that's all 𝐂𝐤 was there to do. He was just there to be like a barrier to stop them from getting to the high ground. He only needed to block them. That grenade connecting onto two players at once, chef's kiss. That was just a cherry on top of the cake. That wasn't even necessary. Team Revolution would have died anyway. But him getting that stylish squad wipe, yeah, it's just style points.
Yeah, definitely. It made it even more interesting for us, for the viewers, for the players as well. And they were able to pick up the third booyah for themselves. And for now, they have created a good margin and they have gained themselves the luxury that just land in any point, get eliminated, and there's nothing that can change the scoreboard as of now. So, yes, it has been a dominant day coming up from Team OP, closing themselves very close to the title of Delhi Titans. They are going to procure this title real soon. But then once again, Grips, next match is going to be Kalahari, which we usually say it is a scoreboard changer, it is a leaderboard changer, and it is always a game changer for the team who are consecutively winning. And the bottom team somehow comes upside and gets some good upshifts. But still, do you think Team OP is going to get a little bit of shake or any earthquake sign as well for the proposition one that they are on the throne that they've already procured?
Nah, none whatsoever. I think at this point we can stop focusing on Team OP and Revolution because these two teams are definitely going through. Team OP probably going to win the whole tournament, at least for today. They will be basically qualifying. Team Revolution safe and secure in top 2. I think at this point what we need to start focusing on is which team can get to the third place. Yeah, because the difference between the third and fourth place team is just like, what, 3 or 4 points. We have one team on 45, one team on 41 points. And keep in mind that if you do get to top 3, you can at least get into the play-ins, right? So I think that's the storyline that we need to focus on right now because Revolution and OP are basically unshakable.
Yeah, definitely it is, and they are unshakable. And command post being a little heated up with 3 teams already there landing up, and those 3 teams are heartbreakers. Alongside them, we also see GenX Force, the team that is definitely always interested to pick up fights early on. And DL to UK, previously this team was able to survive into top 5, but this time around, we can see some early eliminations coming in, and it is going to be GenX Force who draws the first blood over here with the shotgun. And Delhi to UK losing Neeru as a trio. Now they have to go ahead. Jarvis does procure some weapons and is also trying to exchange some rifles, some pistols for himself. So with the better weaponry, maybe he can give a better fight. But command post being heated up over here, we are definite that within 2 to 3 minutes we are going to spectate an early elimination of any single team. We really don't know which that one is going to be because 3 is still a team Pahari with little to no HP, and we don't know if he procures any health kit or no. But Mafia certainly has already acquired some health kits, tanking up some damage, healing himself up, boosting up once again, and trying to pick up fights.
Any of the flanks that Team Generation X is trying to do right now is going to be rendered useless if they get tagged by the Moko abilities. They might just be able to tag their opponents and get some information between themselves as well. But take a look at how closely Team Delhi to UK are playing right now. Even if they have the information, they basically can't do much to outflank them. But oh my goodness, what a lovely shot by Pahari. Getting the headshot onto Mafia, knocking him down. The revive will come through before Delhi to UK can go in for the thirst. But hey, at least they managed to draw the players of Team Generation back into one house rather than letting them split up. So that's at least one thing going in their favor. They now know that they can't get flanked. but there is one person underneath them, and that's going to be Mysterious. Keep in mind that last time Mysterious tried to go for a flank in the command post, he was taken down first, and he was basically unsuccessful in that flank. Let's see if he's able to pull it off again. But his teammates have already made their way over here. He's not alone anymore. He's not the solo flanker. He's got backup. He got a knock as well, but the player who got knocked out, 𝐅𝐢𝐵2, he's going to be revived. Unfortunately, there's a lack of medkits going around the camp of D2U right now, but they can still make this work if they trade frags, if they use 𝐅𝐢𝐵2 as bait. They're going to go up into the balcony. That's going to leave them a little bit more vulnerable, but luckily for them, their opponents don't have any other lines of sight. Mysterious once again going for a flank, trying to get a different angle by jumping into that sniper tower. This time he must be successful because the players of D2U are out in the balcony, and he does exactly that. Viper gets knocked out as well. That's the cue for the rest of his teammates to start moving in, and here comes the full thrust. It's just a 1v4. 𝐅𝐢𝐵1, one man standing, needs to get out of here, and he won't be allowed to do so. Delhi to UK get eliminated right at the first place. Good job by Mysterious, this time making his flanks work, paying off dividends wonderfully.
And wonderfully winning the first battle for the day without losing any member of the team. But over here, we do see Team NMY Delhi has lost one player, also procured one kill. So fair trade is going on between these two teams. It is going to be Team OP, the leaderboard topper, against Team NMY Delhi with the double vector. Rudra is ready to pick up some fight to deliver some damage, but the damage was not worth to get the knock for himself. And I do see some deficiency coming in for the health kits once again. Being the highest resource zone, this is the only deficiency that the teams have to struggle. The players have to struggle, and this is the price they pay for the extra choice of the weapons that they get. Does anybody procure, has any hand cannons as of now, or no? We don't know, because you're not seeing any attack coming in from their Lord Raj holding Mag 7. A perfect weapon for the close range fight, which they are definitely anticipating right now. But before that, we are seeing 𝐂𝐤 Esports using the advantage right now. Advantage of height and last breath is easily spotted. They are able to deliver some damage. But once again, being mid to long range fight, the players are going to heal up. But ultimately, it comes to an end, and it is going to be bottle resources so early on. What are you going to do next? But at this point of time, they do have ample amount of health kits, 5 with 𝐂𝐤, 4 with other teammates, so they can certainly share the health kits, med kits, save yourself as long as possible. And Shrines is also turning into a hot drop with the new meta.
This hot drop might just be a little too hot for the sake of these teams. Last breath. Take a bad knock. Shanti knocking 𝐅𝐲𝐶 head out of his shoulders. Can they revive him though? I don't think so. 𝐂𝐤 Esports going for the thirst right away. They've got most of the players positioned underneath the pyramid, and Shanti delivers yet again, this time getting the better of 𝐂𝐤. They haven't even gotten 𝐅𝐲𝐶 back to full health, and they already secured another knock. They tried to go around the pyramid, hoping to get a safe haven, but here's Sup with the best angle possible. He gets the better of Adam as well. Yeah, last breath in way too much trouble right now. 𝐅𝐲𝐶, the man who got back up on his feet, will not be given another chance as 𝐂𝐤 Esports wiped the floor with last breath.
𝐂𝐤 Esports 4 kills, no loss. Once again, we are seeing battle won flawlessly, but Heartbreakers, are they going to lose Janu as of now? Against them, it is going to be Godlike, who have lost no players as of now, so it is going to be a 3v4 if they don't successfully revive, and their teammates is bleeded to death. But let's see, is it going to be scenario? No, certainly not. They are definitely going to revive, and they have their work. So 4 players against 4. Once again, Ankit is taken down in this time around. They are going ahead for the elimination, and the push coming in from Tista over here. He is going from window to window, shack to shack, from one within house to other, are able to procure the first strike for themselves, and going ahead with the second. Janu is knocked as well, and they're not confirming him as of now. Other teammates cleared it out with the sight.
Oh, disgusting. Ashish getting the kill onto Nightmare. Only flanker from Heartbreaker who could have saved his team, but Ashish denies him the satisfaction. And that's a knock happening in Stone Ridge that's come to a halt. Concluded. Here's another one, Tanya. This one's happening in Bayfront. It's Team Revolution going up against Illusion.
It is 2v4, and with the exact weapons that they need for the close range, we are able to see with the Shen, Unknown X is already all set. A close battle is coming in. Black Tiger once again, the basic required tiger for the team. is able to procure few kills coming in and is also trying to confirm few more on the course. One more player is knocked down. And they are not allowing for the revival process coming in, but with the help of a grapple hook gun, he's able to give a mission coming in, and now the situation is going to be 1v1. Which team survives? Which team crossing each other survives through this crossover? And the player holding the Mag 7 push, but it is MP5, which would not allow. With that, Team Revolution, a total of 4 kills, will survive, and some friendly, funny emotes coming over.
The crossover that nobody asked for, but the one that we all deserved. Team Revolution keeping one player alive, keeping their hopes alive of finishing in second place in this tournament. Of course, it does reduce their chances of getting into the top 5 significantly. But hey, at least they don't get eliminated right at the start. We are still down to 8 teams, and Danya a little faster than the previous one. I remember that by the time the first circle closed around the last game, there was still like 10, 11 teams remaining, and now there's only 8. Which means several of these teams are trying to go in for full confirmations. They're trying to go in for full sends, and they're trying to just confirm the kills. Confirm the knocks and convert them into kills a lot sooner than they did before. Which means if these teams keep on playing in a more free, in a more YOLO fashion, this game might just get very, very interesting. And the last circle will not be as chaotic as before. And you know who's going to benefit if the circle is not chaotic? It's going to be Team Revolution. Black Tiger can find ample of places for himself to hide and get inside the top 4 by being a sneaky little rat. Nobody else can test him as the circle now moves towards the northeastern part. Hall, Confinement, Bayfront, all of them are going to be relevant. But here we have, inside Santa Catrina, Team Surgical Strike trying to pick up a fight, a sniper fight rather, should I say, against Team 𝐂𝐢𝐿, who barely have any permanent cover. But because of the curvature of the boat, they probably will not be able to players like Tista. Rin, on the other hand, is kind of true. I do not like 𝐂𝐢𝐿 splitting up like this. If they split up, they will just end up being in positions from where they cannot be revived if they do go down. Rinu moving from tree to tree, hoping to regroup with his teammates. I don't think he'll be able to make it over here unless Tista makes something happen. He's directly underneath the boat. And we all know that if you are directly underneath high ground, you can't get shot at. Tista now using the grapple hook gun to get inside that cover. This could be interesting. His teammates are not close to him, but they're trying to catch up. If they make their way over here, then they could somehow isolate Sanjib. And if they get the better of Sanjib, then Anuj will be forced to back him up. They need to lure these players out into the open. Tista has a great on another Sanjib. And while he's covering his teammates, Tista, he might just find himself in a position from where he can cover all of them. Oh my goodness. Circle moving in as well. They need to finish this fight right here and now. The third circle is going to start to hurt. The nade connects. 𝐻𝐸𝐸 gets knocked out. Sanjib, he was in a lot of danger, but now this nade might just have saved him. And his teammates have regrouped with him. Surgical Strike might just be on the verge of eliminating Team 𝐂𝐢𝐿 right here and now. But they are moving for the circle first. Rinu delivers a nice headshot onto Eren, turning it back into a 3v3. And with the revives coming through, Eren will get styled upon. Styler also himself gets knocked out as 𝐻𝐸𝐸 is delivering way too much damage with those snipers. But that nade! Oh goodness, Tista! How many more of these are you going to connect? This guy is a demolitionist, and he brings the big bad wrecking ball along with him. No, they're getting knocked out by the zone, but somehow they outlive Surgical Strike. Can they revive their 2 down teammates though? I think they might just be able to make it. 𝐻𝐸𝐸 won't, so they walk away 3-man strong. Well, better to walk away as 3 men rather than losing 2 players. This was a difficult fight, but at least they survived this one.
It was indeed a very difficult fight, and the fights are always difficult when you pick up within the blue zone and the zone was already delivering so much of damage, but somehow they have successfully battled it out, not only the blue circle but also Surgical Strike, and they are as a trio entering the circle. Team NMY with a total of 3 kills are also entering the circle, and we are Lord Raj getting spotted and is also pinned down, taken down. Is it going to be the confirmation Black Tiger, the solo survivor of the team who was some friendly emotes coming in this time around. He is stuck into one sniper tower where one grenade might do the deal, might eliminate Team Revolution, but he also possesses the weapon that is basic necessity for 𝐂𝐢𝐬, which is going to be grapple gun, LVL. Over here we are seeing 𝐂𝐢𝐭𝐲 using the advantage of height. On the rooftop, he is able to give some damages, deliver some damage, enough to get the knock, but certainly it is a mid to long range battle. Look at two players attacking so badly, and now as the circle closes in, there's nothing where Hawkeye Esports can go away with. Either they'll choke out to zone, or it is going to be LVL Iconic who might eliminate them flawlessly. What is going to be the case of scenario, we will definitely spectate at this point of time. LVL Iconic are on the edge of the circle, and it is GXF Mysterious who is able to eliminate the last man standing of Team Revolution. But on the course, I do see one last man standing from Team OP. But before that, it is LVL who is looking a little more than radius right now, who are trying to spot player by player, who are trying to confirm kill by kill with only 16 and 15 players remaining, and 3 kills confirmed by LVL Iconic, and all 3 kills coming in from Aladdin.
Aladdin stepping up for his team, the Prince of the Sands. This guy stands true to his name. NMY, on the other hand, only 2-man strong, might have to deal with a lone rat in the form of the last member of Team Revolution, Black Tiger. Oh, but no. No. They're about to run into another team. They do not want to fight Team Level Iconic right now. This could be dangerous. But they have no other choice. They have to go towards him. If they can get the kill on the Drag King, they might just make things a little easier for themselves, because Drag King is far away from his teammates with no scope of getting traded out. Aladdin does have the high ground. He can back up Drag King, but that little tower can get in the way. Can they actually do it? They have no choice. They're gonna have to go for it. And Drag King might just try and stay here and keep them. If he can get this double kill single-handedly, that will be great. But if he doesn't, it's no problem as well.
Triple kill.
Let's see what is the situation. NMY with a total of 4 kills. We are able to see that only duo surviving. Rudra getting spotted. Team OP getting eliminated. So no, we are not going to see any quadro coming in from them. But they have survived into top 5. That means they have already been the we have not pronounced them as the winners. But yes, certainly the score is going to say it all. Before that, it is 𝐅𝐢𝐭𝐲 who's using the grapple gun, going ahead for the close battle. 𝐂𝐢𝐭𝐲 spotted. Taken down, grenade coming in from 𝐅𝐢𝐭𝐲. Is it going to connect? Certainly doesn't connect at all. Blue wall as savior, as well as Chrono Shield. Now Zone is going to take a very close call. This is where the entry for Freak and Tistar is going to be way more than difficult. Freak spotted with the grenade and is taken down by Aladdin. With this, Aladdin is able to get a quadra kill for himself. Grenade would not stop. 4 teams, 10 players going ahead to eliminate Tistar. Godlike players. This is the last man standing, and it is a situation 1v3 where they don't want Tistar to escape anywhere but be the point. One single point for the team, and Tistar gets knocked down. Where is the team support coming in? Tistar was all sold by himself, so I just thought he might be the last man standing. Certainly Renu was the last man standing, and over here Renu also getting spotted and being attacked. This time NMY is also surviving. Jarvis taken down and the revive on point.
4 teams left, 9 players standing. Team Generation X have a great position. They are on the low ground, but that doesn't really matter because Level Iconic have bigger problems to deal with. Godlike will finally be eliminated. Team Level Iconic, now having dealt with the previous battles, they now have to lick their wounds and get themselves on their feet so that they can fight Generation X, but they won't be given the time. Jarvis and Jack, they fly right in to confirm those kills, and it's just them versus NMY right now. 2v3. It is a lost-sum game right now, but it doesn't really matter. They still want those points. They still want that glory.
And this glory might get them to the required position 2, 3, and 4. NMY is trying to move ahead. Gen very close to enter the double digit. And here it is Jack with Meg 7 and NMY getting eliminated. The Booyah being bagged. With the more numbers being survived, it is always a little more than easy to procure the Booyah. So certainly we do see a new name coming in, and also Team Overpower team. It is Team OP who were successfully able to procure the position 5. So certainly we do know who got the title of Delhi Titans, but who are those 3 teams who are going to qualify for the plains? That is also going to be a question.
Yeah, that's the question that we are looking the answer to now. Congratulations to Team OP. Of course, there was no way that these guys were going to lose out on this one. Doesn't matter if they finish in the 5th place. They already knew what they had in the back. They knew what their win condition was. That is to minimize losses. And they did that to a certain extent. But this was a very how do I say this, systematic game as compared to the previous Kalahari game where there were just so many teams alive in the last circle. This time there were barely 3 teams. So yeah, that's something. A lot of these teams started getting eliminated early. The circle was not as populated as in this game as it was in the previous Kalahari game. So that's one thing to notice. If these teams start going for the full sense early on, and if these teams start losing their, start getting eliminated early on, it might just mean a little less of a chaotic circle, which allows, teams like Revolution with only one man standing to get in a little closer. So yeah, that basically sums up the entire game of Kalahari. And yeah, that also sums up the entire day. This might just be the last game of the day. And it seems like we are going to be, looking at only the standings right now. That's all that's left to see.
Yeah, that is only left to see which are the teams who go ahead for the plains, which is the team who directly go ahead for the grand finals. And apart from that, we have seen the repetition of Puya one-sided dominance. But I also noticed one more thing, Crips, which is the teams today were playing fearlessly. They were not hesitant to pick up fights any sooner. Yeah, we did see some spots where the team went back foot, but ultimately they did take a rotation. They went ahead for the battles, and it was a beautiful play sometimes when they were able to procure themselves a location where they can hide out. Hideout would be the exact spot where you don't want to pick up a fight, where you want to hold, and where you predict yourself that yes, you are going to be in the circle. So we did see some aggression, we did see some passive approach as well. So overall, I would not say the day certainly was a one-sided play where few teams are completely going aggressive, going only. They were all equally balanced in this situation. They were giving the importance to the survival as well.
Yeah, they were giving importance to survival, especially towards the end of the day, where we saw how all these teams with less remaining players were trying to hide for the possible, trying to get into safe compounds, and they were largely successful in doing so. You got to keep in mind that several times these teams, what they were doing is get into central positions and just hold on to that compound for as long as possible. That's how Team Godlike were able to win that one game that they did. That's how Team OP got into these amazing positions that they found themselves in.
And here we are with the giveaway. And please start giving the hashtags. That is what it right. It is written in front of your screen. Hashtag FFCO Delhi Finals. Alongside that, make sure you write down your UID of Free Fire player UID, and you might be the lucky winner for the jersey of Delhi Titans. You really never know. Or maybe you are the lucky one, and luck is knocking your door. So give it a try. Give it a chance. Repeatedly keep on giving the hashtag for the same, which is written FFCO Delhi Finals. And maybe you are the lucky winner for now, and lucky winner will be announced shortly. Before that, we're also going to get to see some standings coming on our way, and these are the standings through which we will be able to give a better picture the teams, and we are also going to name up some names which are already qualified for the plains. But talking about Team OP right now, having a one-sided dominant play coming in today at least, and then going towards the grand finals, those are going to be entirely different case of scenario where you have to play completely with a different set of players, different set of teams. But talking about today's last match and the battle which was picked up quite too early on command post, the deaths, the players, the knocks were exchanged, the kills were getting confirmed, but certainly we cannot underappreciate the team GenX Force, where they were able to rush in and eliminate the existence of Delhi to UK.
Can we just appreciate this wonderful flank by Mysterious? We've been seeing him trying to pull this off in the previous Kalahari game as well, but this time he was fairly successful. He was able to get underneath their house, take a knock by surprise, get his team into position over there, and then he himself went to a sniper tower from where he could snipe them down as the players of Delhi to UK were hiding out in the balcony. Great flank by Mysterious over there, learning from his mistakes from the previous games. So even if Generation X don't end up in too good of a position in this game, at least they learn from their mistakes, and that's what I'm proud of.
Yeah, definitely. They did learn a lot, and they were able to also get some extra kills, not only 4. After that, also, we did see their survival. They were able to procure even more kill. Talk about Godlike right now. They used all the advantage that they had through the height. They were able to spot player by player. They were able to spot the knockdown player by player, and the scythe attack from the close range area did the deal enough to get the first melee finisher that we saw for the day. And talk about Godlike right now, with a total of 2 kills. They're using Blue also saved themselves, and Heartbreaker getting getting flawlessly eliminated with a total of 4 kills. We did see them moving ahead, but Team Revolution, they were pushed in strongly. Black Tiger was the solo survivor who held himself into the sniper tiger.
Dude, this exchange, this crossover,
Yeah.
it was so comical. Like, Black Tiger pulled off a 1v2 clutch to keep his team alive up until the last moment, but that was just so good the way he moved around. This fight, on the other hand, was the complete opposite of good. This was a very chaotic, very messy fight with several teams making mistakes. Surgical Strike somehow managing to keep their players alive long enough, but then at the end of the day, Godlike also made it very expensive for them. And it's just a messy affair with both the teams walking away with a significant amount of disadvantage. Yeah, one of the teams walked away with 3 members, but they ran out of resources, which basically spelled doom for them as they walked into the last circle.
The last circle gave a lot of advantage to Aladdin. This is where he was able to procure the quadra kill for himself, and the perfect grenade connection coming up from Aladdin. He was able to spot Freak. He was able to eliminate him completely, and they did not allow Testa to run away at all. They were trying to lure him outside, then come outside, and we are going to confirm, and it was Aladdin once again who was able to knock him down with the shotgun. And talking about this current team, which is GenX Force, they just push in towards LVL Iconic. They confirm the kills, and with only 2 teams and 5 players remaining, all they had to do was already being leaded, having a lead of numbers. With 3 situation coming in, and NMY Sid using the inhaler, tanking up a little bit of damage coming in from the zone. Rudra was spotted, taken down. Then it was lastly spotted to Sid, who also got eliminated. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was the final booyah for the day, where GenX Force was able to procure themselves a total of 21 points, followed by NMY Delhi with 14 points, not only by NMY Delhi, but also LVL Iconic, Godlike. So, we have total of 3 teams who were able to get a total of 14 points.
Yeah. NMY Delhi, Level Iconic, Godlike, all of them getting 14 points each, basically makes this a zero-sum game. Finally, this is one of those games where Revolution is able to get more points than Team OP, but it's just 1 point. And they were having a deficit of, 30-something points, so it really doesn't matter to Team OP that they finished below Team Revolution. In fact, I'm going to take my words back. Team OP might have less points than Revolution, but they still finish in a better position than them, according to the placement points. So even then, Team OP managed to keep themselves afloat, keep themselves alive for longer than their rivals.
And the Team Revolution was the only competition for Team OP. If at all, Team Revolution would have won the booyah, which would have been on average 21 to 22 points. Still, it was not sufficient enough to overtake the Team OP, the score that they have created for themselves. The only team was able to get a triple-digit number. And we also have the MVP for this match, and it is going to be 𝐃𝐥𝐸 with a total of 3 kills and almost 1200 worth of the damage in the air. And it was map of Kalahari, one of the most difficult map, where you cannot predict the circle fluently, where you cannot get the momentum fluently, but certainly they were able to get the booyah in such a difficult map. And it was a good play coming in. They saved the numbers, they picked up early battles, they also got some extra kill points. And I would say the final match was also worth the watch. A lot of entertainment, lot of action, and there was not even a single point where we were getting like, oh, this is the time for rotation. Every single time there was one or the other battle going on.
Yeah, there were battles going on every now and then, and there were also teams getting eliminated now and then. It's not like those battles ended in a stalemate or one of the players got away. No, all of those players who got into that fight either died or walked away with, internal hemorrhages. So that's basically what summed up the entire last game, which wasn't the flavor of the day when we started off. In the first few games of the day, we saw many more teams disengaging, but this time the teams were brave enough to stick around till the end of the fight and see it through.
And they were flawless with their kills. Being a new emerging teams, they had enough synergy to fight it out, to battle it out, to win some battles. And yes, this is a battle royale. You win some, you lose some. That means you keep on trying over time. So maybe they are not going to get promoted to the next level at this particular stage, but with the practice, maybe we can see them some other day. But talking about the team that has been dominant on the teams like LVL Iconic, the teams like like Last Breath, who have had a very good experience, and experience matters a lot if they're able to dominate the teams who were already experienced. And we have already seen them during the play of FFIC, and they've had their days. Talking about team Last Breath, they have had their day where this was the only team who was taking up so many booyahs. So ultimately today, when a new team emerges up and they are able to dominate, I think they have done more than enough to gain the title the title of Delhi Titans.
Yep, I'm really proud of them. At the start of the day, I was expecting one of these popular teams, like maybe Team Revolution, maybe Team Last Breath, or something like that to win. But it is in fact Team OP who comes out on top. We don't know exactly by how much they're on top. We don't know who else is behind them, but we will find all of that out after a short break, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we're going to be having the final standings. We'll be back really soon.
बेस्ट मेमोरेबल मोमेंट तो यही है, एफएफसीओ में क्वालिफाई हो चुके हैं हम।
सपोर्ट की बात है तो कोई भी प्लेयर अपने फैमिली सपोर्ट के बिना आगे जा नहीं सकता,
लेकिन स्पेशली मेरे मम्मी, उन्होंने मेरे को मतलब बहुत सपोर्ट किया है।
ये एक बड़ा टूर्नामेंट जीतना है, कोई बस एक बार नाम करना है।
एक गिल्ड लीडर है देफाई, वो वही मेरे को इंस्पायर किए थे स्पोर्ट्स आने के लिए।
मेरे सारे ही इस टीम में हैं, ये सभी बहुत सपोर्टिव रहे हैं।
गोल यही है वर्ल्ड सीरीज चैंपियन रहे, इंडिया रिप्रेजेंट करने।
We will be representing India in World Series, that's for sure.
मैं यहाँ पर ये ट्राई करूंगा कि मैं अपनी टीम को सबसे ऊंचे स्थान तक लेकर जा सकूं।
सबसे अच्छी बात ये है कि मेरी टीम नहीं है, मेरे लिए फैमिली मेंबर जैसे ही।
मोटिवेट तो फ्रेंड्स ही करते हैं, उनके साथ गेम खेलते हैं।
मैं यही आशा करूंगा कि हमारी टीम जो है स्पोर्ट खेल के बहुत आगे जाए।
स्वागत है आपका FFCO टुनाइट में। मेरा नाम है रंजीत मामा सीने पटेल और मेरे साथ आज जुड़ रहे मेरे को-होस्ट और एनालिस्ट 𝐅𝐢𝐫𝐞𝐞 भारद्वाज। आरुष, हाउ यू डूइंग?
थैंक यू सो मच फॉर हैविंग मी माम्बा एंड यस FFCO के लिए मैं बहुत ज़्यादा थ्रिल्ड हूँ। 3 मंथ्स का हाईली ऑक्टेन यहाँ पे टूर्नामेंट मैचेस होने वाले हैं, बट स्टार्ट होने के पहले जो भी लोग नहीं जानते ये टर्म फ्री फायर सिटी ओपन, हम लोगों ने आपके लिए एक छोटा सा ट्रेलर बनाया। लेट्स हैव अ क्विक लुक।
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back after a short break, and we are also going to announce, we know you're getting impatient to know who exactly the Delhi Titans is. We are impatient as much as you are, but yes, we are going to get you with a very good scoreboard, and we did have an entirely dominant day coming up from one team, but there are the teams as well who gave the best into the final segment for the day, where they are going to get some up shifts, yeah, where the points are also going to get a little more closer from where they were towards position 2, position 3, but somewhere somewhere around the predictions are on. Not only us, we can also see through the chat section that you are already showing us that this is the team that is going to go ahead as the position 2, 3, and 4. So, Crips, do you have any predictions coming up except for Team OP, where we already know about them?
I think Team Revolution will still be on second place. I think Team Hawkeye Esports has done enough to get to third place, but I can't be sure. Their last game was not very impressive. They died out early on, but does that mean that the teams below them have done enough to overtake them? I can't be sure. I can't really be sure. So I think, yeah, Team OP, Team Revolution, and Hawkeye Esports might just make it. Hawkeye did have plenty of kills, but it's going to be close. It's going to be very, very close. Down to like 1 or 2 points of difference.
Because this was the only map where we saw that position 2 to 3 was with total of 14 points was shared by 3 teams, then position 5 and 6 was shared by 2 teams, and that is how the scoreboard was shared totally. And today this is the final giveaway winner, where the day ends, where the final winner is also announced, and yes, you're going to get a mail through to the UID that you have provided, and congratulations for owning a t-shirt or owning a jersey for Delhi Titans.
Yeah, congratulations to the owner of this UID, whose number is flashing on the screen right now. You just won yourself a shiny new Delhi Titans jersey. Man, I wish I can get a Mumbai jersey for myself someday. I don't know if that's allowed. I don't know if we are allowed to get jerseys, but hey, guys, anyone in Garena watching this, please make it happen. Either way, congratulations to these guys. Of course, this is not the only time that you will get to win jerseys. There will be several other broadcasts. This is just the start of Free Fire City Open. We have 7 more regional qualifiers left. After those regional qualifiers, there will be the wildcard qualifiers. After that, there will be the city play-ins. And after that, there's going to be the grand final. So we have a long tournament ahead of us, Tanya, and there will be several more opportunities to win good stuff.
So the opportunities are knocking the door. Make sure you tune in always. And a recap for the day today for every single map. Our round 1, Bermuda won away. It was Team Revolution who were able to win away the Booyah, then followed by Purgatory, where Team OP started dominating. 𝐂𝐢𝐫𝐞𝐞 godlike took away the Booyah from them. And then we did see a hat-trick coming in, where Team OP won away the second Booyah for Bermuda. Purgatory was the map, but they were able to procure the hat-trick. And then 𝐂𝐢𝐫𝐞𝐞, where GenX Force beautifully took away the Booyah with every single effort, and each and every kill was with full of efforts that they were trying to put in. And talking about GenX Force, yes, they have done very good into the final segment for the day, but we really don't know, have they done enough to qualify for the plains or no?
Yeah, have they done enough? That's a big question that's been on everyone's minds. I think we already know who the winner of the tournament is, at least for today. But what about the other teams? What about the people who will be making it to the play-ins? Very soon, we will have the final standings on our screens. I know that you guys are waiting for this to flash, but I guess we will need a little bit more patience. Till then, by the time we are waiting for who the final winners are, why don't you guys put up in the chats who you're supporting, and soon we will be showing you who the winners are. And here we go.
Total of 112 points, nowhere closer to other teams. Team Revolution definitely made it very clear. And Crips, your prediction for Team Revolution being on position 2 is right on point. Bullseye, 81 points, followed by Godlike, 59 points. LVL Iconic in the last match, they did see it was Aladdin who was able to draw this sort of a miracle, where they are able to procure 52 points, and every kill was counted. GenX Force winning away the last Booyah, but still being 1 point away from being position 4.
Yeah, and my prediction for Hawkeye Esports being close to them was horribly wrong. They were not anywhere close to being at the top. Godlike Esports is the one that takes the last spot into the play-ins. LVL Iconic, one of the most experienced team on the server. They've participated in FFIC before, but this time they're not able to make it to the play-ins. And that's going to be the end of the journey for them. Unfortunately, even Team Last Breath, one of the teams who was an FFIC finalist, also are not able to make it. Yikes, Tanya. This tournament has been so topsy-turvy. We expected some teams to do really well, and they did not. Whereas the underdogs, who we thought will have a tough time going against these teams who have participated in tournaments like Free Fire Battle Arena. They participated in Free Fire in Free Fire India Championship. Maybe some of them even have been to Tri-Series. So them not being able to compete against these underdogs is a big upset. And honestly, I'm quite happy. I'm the kind of sadistic guy who wants to see the kings fall. I want to see the new people, the new teams take the throne, and I want to see the underdogs rise. And I feel like we're going to see a lot more of that in the rest of the City Open qualifiers.
That is what was the opportunity for City Opens, and that opportunity is working very nicely. And it is always great to see some teams from whom you least expect, and they come up, they be the table topper. They not only be there, they solidify their position with every single map processing ahead, every single map progressing ahead, and they are able to do it over time. So this is the perfect opportunity coming in from Garena for the players who want to get a renowned name, who want to earn the name and fame. And yes, prize pool is always a motivation. So congratulations to Team OP once again for easily qualifying. Yes, you did give the efforts, but those efforts paid off very nicely, because Plains is going to be very difficult. Though the stage of Plains is a little more farther away, we still do have more 6 states, more 6 cities coming in, battling in, getting the name. And apart from that, then comes the situation of Plains. So for now, Delhi Titans, today in the lobby, whoever played, they have got an ample of time to improve the synergy, to improve the mistakes that they have done today, and again retry during the Plains.
Also, because Delhi Titans are the first team to qualify, they will be able to sit back, relax, and watch all the other teams play. So they have ample of time to not just improve their own gameplay, but they also have ample of time to take a look at what every other team is doing, take a look at what the meta is and how it's shifting, and then adjust accordingly. So that puts them in actually a pretty good spot. And of course, Delhi is one of the biggest cities in the country. It's the literal capital of the country. So I'm assuming the competition over here was a lot more difficult because a lot of teams participate in this tournament. Of course, all the other cities also will be having quite a lot of teams participating in them. But Delhi, because it's the capital of the country, has a lot more players and also has a higher caliber of players. We had 2 ex-FFIC teams who were participating over here. Who knows how many more top-tier teams will come up in every other qualifier like this. And at the end of the day, even the wildcard qualifier is remaining, which basically comprises the rest of the country, which doesn't include, these 8 cities. So even that is going to be very interesting. But you know what's more interesting? It's these jerseys that we've got for you guys.
And here we have the giveaway code into the bottom screen of the bottom of your screen. Hashtag FFCO Daily Finals alongside add up your UID and start sending it on the chat as speedily as you can. You might be the lucky one to gain this jersey of Delhi Titans. And if you belong to Delhi, you're going to be proud of it. And even if you don't, you're going to get a memory for this strong event that you are watching, you are spectating, giving up your strong good time with us, being friends with us, being here as a viewer, as a commenter. It definitely entertains us even more. It feels us appreciated. It feels players appreciated. So this is a token of appreciation coming up all the way from Garena.
Yep. Make sure that you put up your UIDs right next to this hashtag and put it in chat. Share it with us so that you can get one of these wonderful jerseys. And we're going to have a lot more of these for giveaways. So don't be ashamed of, hitting up the chat and trying to get one of these for yourselves. For now, I guess that wraps up the day, and we will soon be doing final formalities. But before we go, make sure that you follow Free Fire Esports on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, like and subscribe to stream, subscribe the channel so that you never miss out any tournament by Free Fire Esports India.
So yeah, definitely, who wouldn't want to get updated for every single day, for every single event coming up from Free Fire Esports India? And this is the easiest way to communicate directly towards Free Fire Esports personas. And you can also get updated as quick as possible. And mobile is always handy. You can always scroll in and also get notified that when is the next day coming, because you tend to confuse yourself that when is the next event coming up, what is the procedure. You're being explained here on Facebook as well as on Instagram. And yeah, these days we're also seeing some clips coming up on YouTube, so make sure you have subscribed the YouTube channel as well. And I hope, Crips, you have done enough being a storyteller, that we have been a good flawless storyteller for the day, to just to enthusiastically cast the exact place, the grenade, the energy for the grenades. And I'll be very honest, I always like knocks coming up through the grenade launcher. But today we did see a deficiency of grenade launcher. Not every team wanted to equip it. So maybe in the next few days we are also going to get hyped up with the attacks coming in also from grenade launcher.
Yeah, and you're right. We did not see a lot of grenade launchers today. We saw some grenades, we saw some amazing plays, but most of the plays came down to the gunplay today, the actual weapons. And you know who these players were who were delivering a lot of damage with the guns? These superstars are the new rising talent of India. And it is only right that we need to appreciate these talents. It is only correct that we appreciate the people who are doing such a good job, putting up such a good performance and entertaining all of you. So in order to appreciate the new rising players, we have the MVP. Very soon we'll be crowning the MVP of the day. Can you guess who it is? Let us know in the chat who you think the MVP of the day is going to be. And of course, don't forget to use the hashtag and comment your UID down below to stand a chance to win the jersey as well. But let us know who you think the MVP of the day is going to be. Tanya, I'm going to throw this question to you. Do you have any names in mind?
Yeah, I do have it. Had to be Niku for sure, but then Niku was not able to procure so many molds. Followed into the second segments, he was able to get some. So Rishabh may be the player who is able to procure the MVP title for himself, MVP for the whole day, MVP for Delhi Titans, and it is going to come up soon. So if there are any guesses coming up from you, Crips, as well, please let me know.
I think Rahul might just make it.
Rahul.
He was the MVP in one of the games, but I'm not sure if he's done enough to be the MVP for the whole day. In fact, I'm not even sure if the MVP is going to be from Team OP. It could be from, it could be someone from Team Godlike. It could be someone from Team Revolution, because these teams, while they did not have as many booyahs as Team OP, they did have quite a lot of kills. So it could be a player from one of those teams as well.
Yeah, so definitely the MVP cannot be the only one who wins away the booyah. The player who has not taken so many booyahs, but yes, they are able to successfully take as many frags as possible, being the highest fragger for the day and delivering as much as damage possible. And sometimes what exactly happens is we call it kill chori in our basic language, but it is the team support that you exactly get when you try to teammate is also knocking the same person. And site was the exact location, exact timing where I said that yeah, melee attack is there. A player sitting on the stair was able to connect very good flawless shots, and chrono shield popped in. Player just rushes in, the team support comes in, and he just rushes in. And you very well know how important it is to knock down the opponents, and it is team support to go in, to rush in, to confirm the knock. And we also have the giveaway winner. So who the lucky winner is? Here you are, 3225651. You are the lucky winner for the jersey for Delhi Titans. And who is going to be the MVP? Yes, we are going to get to know that as well soon. Let's continue towards that melee weapon attack, and that is where the player just attends his teammates, is able to confirm some knock and then kills alongside. So it is the team support that we say. Sometimes the damage ratio and the kill ratio is never on point. With only 400 or 500 worth of a damage, you are able to procure 5 to 6 kills. How is it even possible? It is the team support that this player is giving in.
Yeah, I remember there was this one game where a player managed to get 7 kills in a single game. That was ridiculous. That's like him getting as many kills as entire teams do. I believe this is one of those games that was in Bermuda, and Team OP was able to win this. If you are worried about your kills getting stolen, you must feel really bad for Team OP. Like, they had 16 kills in that game, but they had more knockouts than that. Several of their kills were stolen away by rival teams. And I think this is the 4th game of the day in Bermuda, where they were able to get control of that radar tower and get that booyah. I was casting that game with Jodi, and I pointed it out during that game itself that all of these kills are being stolen away by by all the teams who are surrounding Team OP, but they still had 16 of them, which brings them up to what? 16 plus 12, what, 28 points in a single game? That's ridiculous. Who on earth can score 28 points in a single game? Such bonker-stonker numbers only belong to some teams on some special occasions, but Team OP was able to repeatedly score such big numbers in 5 games.
Yeah, Team OP was insanely well, and the team, at least I personally did not predict so much coming up from them, at least not until the first Booyah that they procured, being out of circle, being less in numbers, being the perfect circle entry makers, because paving your way through the waterway is always difficult. Trips, we always say that you can easily be taken down on your knees when you cross over the water routes, when you go through the zip lines. But Team OP today went flawless in every single rotation, in every single confirmation of the kill as well. Every time they knocked, other teammate used to just rush in to confirm, to secure the single point for the team, which matters a lot, because you leave the player bleeding to death. Maybe the other teammates just pops in, gives up some blue walls, revives the teammates, so the knocking doesn't make any sense. So the team support also was very strong for Team OP. So for the grand finals, maybe we are going to expect way much more beyond their caliber from Team OP, because ultimately today they were battling with other set of players, but then ultimately into the grand finals they are going to battle it out with all the number ones.
Yeah, the grand finals are still quite quite a few days away. I think it's going to be on Independence Day, but still all these teams, the journey is not yet over for them. There's many more tournaments coming up. There's all big amount of days that you will be seeing FFCO in. Like, let's take a look at the format right here. We're already done with the FFC mode, right? Now, there are 8 cities. Of course, the cities represent the states these cities are in, of course. So today we saw all the teams in Delhi participate. Very soon we'll be having Mumbai, Vizag, Hyderabad, and everything else. So all the teams that make it to the city finals will either make it to the national finals if they finish on the number 1 spot, or they make it to the city play-ins if they finish from 2nd to 4th spot. 2 teams from the city play-ins, they will move into the finals as well after the play-ins are done. And this is just for the 8 states. Outside of these 8 states, India has like 20 times 30 states, and these teams who are not from any of these designated 8 states can then participate in the wildcard finals, and the top 2 teams from wildcard finals will make their way directly to the national finals.
Yeah, absolutely. They are going to. So and today LVL Iconic were successfully able to reach out the planes for themselves. City Planes 1, City Plane 2. They're going to be 2 planes altogether. And talking about the wildcard entries, this is also a perfect entry and the opportunity for the teams who are not residing into the same city, same state, where you can luckily participate. And that is one of a great way to enter the national finals. And the schedule following is this: you're going to get to see us on 18th of June, that is this Friday, after 3 days totally. You're going to see us on Ahmedabad finals. And yes, Crips, you asked for Mumbai jerseys. I'm asking for Ahmedabad ones. Being a Gujarati, I would definitely want one. So Garena, if you are listening, get me one as well. And talking about the schedule, this is the schedule that you have to follow up: 15th, 18th, 22, 25. Mark the dates, mark the schedule for yourself, and come up quickly to gain these t-shirts, to gain these jerseys, and also learn so much more and more. That the opportunity coming in from Free Fire, you are the one who is also playing, and maybe we are once again casting you guys. So yes, there's a journey for the learning as well.
Yeah, the next qualifier is going to be Ahmedabad. You must be pretty excited about that, Tanya. You and Mamba both hail from Gujarat. So these 2 guys, Mamba on the Hindi stream, Tanya over here, you guys are going to be pretty excited about the next qualifier, right?
Yeah, definitely. We are very, very excited for Ahmedabad, and viewers, you are as well excited. I feel so, because you have got various teams, various players who are already participating, and the rosters are definitely going to be different. They are not going to be same as they were. It is a new team, and everything is going to be new, just like you saw today. It is going to be the repetition, except for the teams will replace.
Yep. Of course, let's take a look at the MVP of the tournament. No, not the tournament. I mean, MVP of the day. And you were right, Tanya. It is 𝐂𝐤 with 17 kills, 8,232 damage.
Wow, what a damage, and 17 kills. See, this is what I'm saying: 17 kills and almost 8,500 worth of a damage. It is nowhere close. So he did give even more knockers, but not enough to confirm those as the kills. Or maybe there was some team support coming in. The teammates were confirming, followed by the second MVP for the day, position 2 MVP for the day, Black Tiger. And this Tiger was roaring way too louder, even compared to the Lion today, with total of 15 kills coming in. And Rahul, the player that that you predicted is also seen into the top 5 MVPs with total of 14 kills and almost 5,000 worth of a damage, followed by Ansh with 13 kills, Kaushik with 11 kills, and congratulations, Nico. You deserve where you are today, Team OP. You definitely performed outstandingly well. That is how you are easily qualifying, and there are total of 3 teams you've got the opportunity to play in. So all the best to those teams as well, and you're going to get to see us on Ahmedabad finals for sure on 3 days after, 3 days later, that is on 18th of June. So yes, we are going to come up prepared. We are going to study the new teams as well, and I hope you viewers are also excitedly will be waiting for us to join in again.
Yeah, like I'm pretty excited about the Mumbai finals because I myself am from Mumbai. Salty is from Kolkata, so he will be excited about those. But Tanya, did you notice 3 of the players in the top 5 are from Team OP? Dominating not just the scoreboard, not just the overall standings, not just winning 3 booyahs, but also sending 3 of your players into the top 5. That is an extreme level of domination that I don't think any other team can replicate. Or maybe they can. I guess we'll have to find out in the Ahmedabad finals.
Yeah, definitely. We are going to get to find them, and they are replicating. I will be very honest. They are replicating the footsteps of Team Elite. We have seen Team Elite playing that way into the Tri Series, where they were able to procure the Quadra Booyah, where almost all of the players were always into top 5 MVPs, whatsoever the situation was. But ultimately, Team OP is definitely walking the best of steps possible. All the best to Team OP with that. This is me signing off. Thank you to the viewers who joined in, and Crips, if you have any final words, please go ahead.
Yep. Congratulations to Team OB for making it to the finals of Free Fire City Open. But ladies and gentlemen, we are not done here. This is just the start of the tournament. We have a lot of days of high octane Free Fire lined up for you. So make sure that you tune into the stream, same time, same place on 18th. We'll see you again.